some of the key constituencies in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and Mizoram. We'll come to Telangana in just a moment. I've also done lots of crosstabs where we look at the popularity of the Prime Minister, how the women are voting, how tribals are voting, Dalits are voting across different states. And we've got Rahul Verma, Ashok Malik, and T.S. Sudhir who will try and join the dots for us. But let's get started with the VIP candidates. Rajdeep, you want to come with me?
Yes.
We'll just go across and we'll take our viewers through the VIP candidates, and this is EI 3.0. The real magic of EI 3.0 is on counting day, but we'll give you a sneak peek of what to expect in the VIP seats of Madhya Pradesh. So we'll start with Madhya Pradesh. So what you will see on counting day is whether they're winning or trailing. What we've done right now, and I'll take Shivraj Singh Chauhan from Budni. This is the seat that he's fighting against. He's up against Vikram Mastal, and this is the guy who played the role of Lord Hanuman in Ramayan too. So what we are saying, and I'll give you one as a sample, he is strong, which means in our poll, he is leading, and Vikram Matsal of the Congress is weak, which means he's trailing. There are some seats which will become tough fights. So Pradeep will explain that, but that's how it goes. So that's the first seat. Let's now come, Rajdeep, to the next seat. This is Kamal Nath. Rajdeep.
You know, Kamal Nath is quite a remarkably enduring politician because he contested his first election way back in 1980. He's lost only one election. Interestingly, the election that he lost meaning he put up his wife in a by-election in 1996 when he was charged with Hawala. He wasn't given the ticket. He put up his wife Alka, and she lost to the old strongman of Madhya Pradesh of the BJP, Sundarlal Patwa. But apart from that, he's won every election, whether state or general election, and that's quite a feat. So he is winning. Often the face of your party will win. That doesn't mean your party.
Do you want to explain, Pradeep, before we go further, how people should read this data? I'm just being careful because this is not a gimmick or a game, right? And because people are taking every comma and full stop so seriously, so even if it gets a bit technical, I want to spend some time on how you should decode this rather than just saying he's winning, he's trailing, Shivraj jeete, Kamal Nath jeete, or XYZ hare. Just explain how to look at this data in a more meaningful fashion.
This is the kind of popularity of that particular party on that day because people vote for a symbol. Symbol belongs to a party. So it is not the personal this thing ki Kamal Nath is losing or winning or the Shivraj Singh is losing or winning. It is that party which was most popular on the polling day.
Now remember, we had Narottam Mishra with us, Rajdeep, yesterday, the Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Interestingly, and that's the first surprise coming out of the data, Narottam Mishra is looking weak on his seat, which doesn't mean he will lose.
So this is a tough fight seat.
This is a tough fight seat.
This is a tough fight seat.
Exactly. So this is a tough fight seat where the poll shows Narottam Mishra in a tough situation. So he's not looking strong on that seat. It doesn't mean he will lose, which is why, look at the word, he's looking weak. He doesn't mean it will lose, but that's a tough one. Narottam Mishra, very flamboyant, outspoken, Rajdeep.
Last time also there was only 1% difference, 46 to 47. 1%
it's a tough
difference
seat.
he won.
You see, this is the region where the Congress was hoping to make gains. But right across, if you're seeing, I think the significance is all the BJP's union ministers, Narendra Singh Tomar, Prahlad Patel, Pagan Singh Kulaste, are all looking strong. So the BJP had a strategy. I think the BJP micromanaged Madhya Pradesh. They decided if we put up these union ministers, we will get the benefit in the constituencies around it. And from what our data is showing, that's happening. You know, Narendra Singh Tomar, many people, when you went to Dimni, said, he's in trouble. Local journalists said, takkar hai. Because there are two Tomars there, and there is one Rajput in that, there are two Rajputs there, and there is one Brahman there. So they thought, in the fight between the Tomars, will the Brahman come through? That's not happening at the moment. He's looking strong.
Let me explain this seat in a detail. This Dantodia, who is contesting from BSP seat, and Ravin, this time the MLA one, Congress MLA one, he came to BJP with Sindhya, and bypoll happened, and BJP lost very badly the same candidate with the margin of 28,000 votes. The same candidate who won, he lost from ticket of BJP. And in 2013 election, BSP number 1 and BJP was number 3. So it was a very difficult seat. Okay. But this time, it is like one way. Congress will be third place.
Let's now come to Indore. Kailash Vijayvargiya, the General Secretary for West Bengal, flamboyant, outspoken, sometimes controversial. He's fighting. He said, "अरे मेरे को तो लड़ना ही नहीं था, मुझे भेज दिया." But anyway, he's looking comfortable. Kailash Vijayvargiya in Madhya Pradesh, on the seat of Indore 1, looking well placed to win.
And this is also very strong seat for Congress. Sanjay Shukla is a too strong a candidate, and that is the precisely reason why BJP sent heavyweights likes of Kailash Vijayvargiya.
Pagan Singh Kulaste, Rajdeep, you know this man well.
Yeah, he cashed for votes. He was among those involved in the cash for votes story. But again, this is strategy. How many parties would risk sending 7 MPs, not 1 or 2? You send 7 MPs into Madhya Pradesh in the hope that those MPs would lift your morale. Now, if all of them win, you will have a problem at the center. You're going to have to,
What will they do, Ashok Malik, most likely? Now, most of these ministers seem to be winning. Now, you've got just a few months to go for the general elections. Do you then, because you will have to, if all of them go to Madhya Pradesh, do some kind of a cabinet reshuffle and bring new people in, but just a few months to go?
I think the BJP would have achieved 2 things if these results hold. One, they sent all these heavyweights to Madhya Pradesh and said, you all have skin in the game. So you can't sit back and say, let Shivraj win and lose this election. I'm not involved. You have skin in the game, you get involved. And the chief minister's job is open to anyone because they have not declared a chief minister. So they all.
No, but can I argue that if the BJP ends up with the kind of seat share that Pradeep is predicting, 140 to 162, it's very difficult then to change Shivraj Singh Chauhan. At 105, 115, you say, okay, we manage the election.
I would. There's a counter argument to that.
Which is?
If you have a very narrow majority, then Shivraj, it's difficult to replace Shivraj because the last time when you managed to form a very precarious government by getting Scindia's people in, only Shivraj could hold together that. But with 150 seats, if indeed it is 150 seats, frankly, the BJP has more agency.
But what impact might that have on the Lok Sabha elections then?
I think for the Lok Sabha election, if you look at Mr. Modi through the years, from Gujarat onwards, he's always changed a lot of candidates.
No.
After 10
I'm
years,
saying if you replace Shivraj, bring one of these ministers in and make them chief minister, then if Shivraj gets upset, he ultimately is a politician, could he potentially make Madhya Pradesh tougher than it otherwise would?
Now, let's be very clear. If they get the numbers that Pradeep is predicting, you cannot change Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Not an OBC.
He's arguing the opposite. He's arguing the opposite.
No, that's my point. You see, a lot of these, barring except for Prahlad Patel,
Prahlad Patel is Mahakaushal.
Yeah, so Prahlad Patel there has been a silent campaign of his supporters also on social media, Prahlad Patel for CM. All the others, remember, are either upper caste. You see, you cannot change an OBC chief minister easily 5 months before an election. I think the BJP recognized the shift. If you see September, they were not projecting Shivraj Singh Chauhan aggressively. By the time October comes, second list of the BJP, Shivraj got all his people in. First list, there was a sense that Shivraj was being checkmated. I get a sense, 150, how do you change someone who is now your face? I mean, Ladli Behna, whether we like it or not, is associated with Shivraj Singh. If at all there is to be a change, it can take place post 2024 if Mr. Modi wins. Then you can change.
Preeti wants to make a point.
Two quick points. Prahlad Patel was Narsinghpur, adjoining the constituency of the chief minister, Chhindwara. He's been able to influence 3 or 4 seats around that same area, Lodi, OBC. But what's interesting also, Rahul, is we speak about Narottam Mishra. I went to his constituency. You know who's he up against? He's up against a former RSS functionary who actually for the last 3 elections was the one who was managing his campaign. He's a sitting 6-time MLA, Narottam Mishra. Managing his campaign, the Congress gave Avdesh Nayak a ticket, and he's the one who's defeating Narottam Mishra, if at all these numbers hold true.
It's not defeating.
I said he's in a tight fight.
Contest.
One more caveat, correction to your facts. 2 first list and second list, BJP released 79 seats. Only 1 seat of Prahlad Patel was of the sitting BJP MLAs. All 78 seats were where BJP lost. So they tried to give more time to these candidates. Third list, and that is the precisely reason why Shivraj or other big ones are not there. People are taking it other way.
Okay. No, Shivraj got his way by the end. The
third race he got.
By the end, majority of the BJP candidates who are contesting have affiliation to Shivraj Singh.
Let's now come to Jayavardhan Singh. He fights from his father's erstwhile principality of Raghogarh. He is on a strong footing. He's the son of the former Chief Minister Digvijay Singh. He's up against Hirendra Singh, and he is on a strong wicket. So that is Madhya Pradesh. And now from Madhya Pradesh, let me see if I have some more people we can spend time on. So let's take Jitu Patwari. Jitu Patwari, interestingly, Pradeep Gupta is predicting is on a tough fight. It doesn't mean Jitu Patwari will lose. The sample that we did suggests that Jitu Patwari, former minister in the Kamal Nath government, is on a tough spot.
You see, if you look at Indore city, as per Pradeep's poll, that's where there's a virtual sweep this time for the BJP. In fact, if you look at the entire Malwa belt, that's where the huge gains that the BJP is making compared to 2018 when it was a tough fight. Jitu Patwari contest from just outside Indore in a place called Rao. You know, he is seen as a Rahul Gandhi man. Rahul Gandhi wants to effect a generational change in
But can he
Madhya
be,
Pradesh.
if the
He's seen
Congress
as-
loses and Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh have to kind of end the innings, is the guy ready?
I think the biggest challenge for the Congress, my belief, is how do you find an OBC tribal face? You see, you're going to have to look at caste politics in Madhya Pradesh very differently. Jitu Patwari may not necessarily be your answer. He's a good organizational man. He's ready to be out there. He's a, you know, a bit of a strong man. But what this party has lacked in Madhya Pradesh is a strong tribal OBC face for the longest
Let's
time. You
get
tried
Rahul.
Arun Yadav. Earlier, there was Jamna Devi, but you've never been able to find someone who can really take
Kantilal
on.
Bhuria.
Kantilal Bhuria in another age, yes,
Tribal.
but again, short-lived.
Rahul Verma, if the BJP ends up with 140 plus, then the theory which was floating in political circles that the BJP may attempt a chief minister change, is that likely to go through, or do you think with 140 they can't mess with Shivraj?
These decisions are taken at the very top, right? And all these rational calculations which we are doing is not what makes.
No, but do you agree that only an OB in today's Madhya Pradesh you have to have an OBC face?
I agree with Ashok Malik's thesis that if BJP is close to majority mark, then you are bound to have Shivraj Singh Chauhan. But if it's 140, 150, then you can engineer a change much easily. And so that's much
No,
more
but then
likely
that jeopardizes a potentially risk 2024. The
No,
central leadership is
2024
much more
not about
interested
chief
in.
ministerial candidate. 2024 is largely about Prime Minister Modi. And in fact, if you think about this, the MPs going in Madhya Pradesh and contesting is a signal for change of guard in Madhya Pradesh.
No,
I think that process
sure,
has begun.
because, you know, let's be also clear. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, interestingly, is the last chief minister in this era from the Advani Vajpayee age.
Yeah.
I think he was appointed in 2004, 2005, the first time. You had Uma Bharti, she loses out. Then you had Babulal Gaur, and then you eventually have Shivraj. He's the last one left. So, you know, then it will start the speculation. Is the aim to completely decimate the Advani Vajpayee?
So anyway, that will
But
be.
at 150, you know, it's interesting that you're saying closer margin means Shivraj's chances
Because
are
then you
greater.
need a face who can manage all the contradictions.
To hold together a disparate coalition.
That's
Yeah.
right. But I'm just saying, maybe they'll wait till May. I don't think Mr. Modi would want to rock the boat after such a big victory, at least for the next 6 months.
No, and
Then
it is-
after May,
And it is not just a management and electioneering victory. If you get 140 plus, you have to give credit to the chief minister. You can't take that away from him. He's largely behind a scheme. 50% of the women, according to Pradeep's data, voting for the BJP. It's very tough to dislodge somebody who's just come back to power the fourth time. Let's now move to.
If the BJP wins 150 seats, if there is to be a change in chief minister, it's now. It's not in 6 months.
Yeah.
okay.
Let's now come from Madhya Pradesh to Rajasthan. And again, in Rajasthan, oh my God, the level of detailing and interest with which all the top players, including some who I thought would be watching Hindi news channels, but all of them listening to every word. Now we have to be very careful, Rajasthan. What happens is, bolte bol jate. You have to be very, very careful. That kind of just slows you down from fifth gear to fourth gear. Let's start with Ashok Gehlot, Sardarpura. Let's look at what the trend is. The chief minister, and obviously if the polls showing that he may actually bring the Congress back to power, he's looking strong, he's looking good.
Ashok Gehlot is a great survivor of politics. You know, if a cat has 9 lives, Ashok Gehlot has 19. Every time you've written him off,
So what's a cat with 19 lives? Like
he has over the years very, very softly demolished all his opponents. You know, in 1998, when he contested, Parasram Maderna was supposed to become the man, the first Jat chief minister that Rajasthan would have. Slowly, Ashok Gehlot was able to somehow ensure that he became chief minister. Then over the years, Shishram Ola, now of course Sachin Pilot,
CP Joshi.
CP Joshi.
One
And
more, but
CP
that was
Joshi was, look, you know, sometimes God smiles on you. CP Joshi would have become chief minister in that election, loses by one vote.
Or he's frowning on
You know,
CP
look at
Joshi.
it, think about it. You become chief minister because your primary rival, who by all accounts, when you speak to congressmen, had been decided upon a chief minister, loses by one vote. I mean, maybe the gods have smiled on Mr. Gehlot. He's the jadugar. You know, he literally is a jadugar. And when you speak to him, you will never get a sense that he's ever flustered. You know, he's a bit like my friend, another political friend, Sharad Pawar. You never know what is going on inside their mind. वो क्या कर रहा है? That's why I said, if it is 9500 as, you know, if it's close to majority mark, Gehlot भी अपना खेल खेलेगा, boss. He's already got those 2-3 BTP tribal MLAs. In fact, one congressman told me, Gehlot साहब independence का ज्यादा ख्याल रखते हैं, हमारा कम. He makes sure कि उनको सबसे, one of them was given apparently the best suite in the hotel, you know, during the pilot revolt. They kept the Congress guys in the smaller rooms and all the independents were given the suites because he said, उनकी जरूरत ज्यादा पड़ने वाली है, आपकी कम.
Rajdeep, the local cadre there says कि Gehlot जी की पार्टी में बहुत IOU हैं और पार्टी से बाहर और पार्टी है उनके साथ MOU है.
बिल्कुल सही, very very nice.
So
one.
now let's come to Vasundhara Raje. Vasundhara Raje Scindia, the former chief minister of Rajasthan, looking very strong on her seat. She's up against Ramlal of the Congress party. So in Jhalrapatan, Vasundhara Raje looking strong. And, you know, and imagine if the BJP ends up, Ashok Malik, in a hung kind of situation, is it advantage Vasundhara?
Yes, I would say, like Rajdeep said, if it's a hung type situation, like it was with in Rajasthan when the Congress won, Gehlot had an advantage. Earlier, Bhairav Singh Shekhawat used to run very narrow majority governments or even minority governments. So if the BJP wins 150 seats in Rajasthan,
You know, a question that's been asked, Pradeep, often is this:
if it's a narrow margin,
who are the others apart from the Congress and the BJP? The others who seem to be popping up in your poll, are they more the BJP rebels? Are they more the Congress rebels? 45 odd rebels on both sides.
So total is about 14 to 18 who are winning. 2 CPM, 2 BTP, now BAP, 6 of them from BJP rebels and 2 from Congress.
So therefore, given these numbers that Pradeep is throwing up, you see the 2 CPM would go with the Congress. The 2 BAP would go probably with the Congress.
And BSP too.
The BSP
will also
too, and Hanuman Beniwal's party.
Beniwal too.
And Hanuman Beniwal's party too. Now, Hanuman Beniwal is interesting.
himself.
You know, Hanuman Beniwal today, I asked somebody, Hanuman Beniwal is very clear. I will support BJP so long as it's not Vasundhara. Anyone but Vasundhara. He's made it very clear, I will not support Vasundhara Raje. So, it's interesting how the dynamics play out.
So he's looking strong on his seat.
He's a fascinating political character. I mean, Preeti will know. She went to Nagaur, I think. In Nagaur, he's the big boss. So he's got his arrangements worked out, but in a very localized way. But these are the guys who are going to be priceless.
He was the one, Rajdeep, who in the beginning was trying to put together a motley crew of the Aam Aadmi Party, Sachin Pilot, and the RLP coming together. He was the one behind it who wanted to engineer this kind of coalition to come in as a third front. But of course, that never happened.
Let's come to Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore. Interestingly, he's in a tough fight. Up against Abhishek Chaudhary of the Congress. Again, I want to say very clearly, that doesn't mean he will lose. It means our poll sample suggests it's a closely fought race. So,
but Pradeep, why do you then put one person as strong and other as weak? Does that mean that he has the edge?
No. I'll explain.
It doesn't mean that he has the edge.
That is us. That is us. Pradeep didn't do it like this. Pradeep said it's a tough fight.
Tough fight.
Because this is automated data, Rajdeep.
Okay.
Therefore, we can, and because this is essentially for counting day, so you can show somebody winning and you can show somebody losing. Because it's an algo, there is no provision for a tough fight. I mean, there are only 2 colors, right? The saffron and this blue. So what we are doing is we are saying that this is a tough fight. It doesn't mean he will lose. It just means it's a tough fight. So please keep that in mind.
The
so
margin is likely to be in the range of 3%.
Okay.
That is classified as tough fight.
And he's a sitting MP
A
from
close
Jaipur
fight.
Rural.
Yeah.
And his own
let's-
party is doing it.
You know, the other one is Shanti Dhariwal. He's an interesting character because many hold him responsible for the so-called coup that took place in the Congress last year, which ensured that Ashok Gehlot stayed on.
His name was the last one to be
And
announced.
Sonia
for a
Gandhi
ticket.
was dead against it. Sonia Gandhi said, "Usko dena hi nahi hai. Kaun hai ye Shanti?" And there was Shanti in the room, apparently, the moment she said that. Eventually, Mr. Gehlot was able to get his way, but it took a lot of effort.
Last 3
Mahesh
names
Joshi
announced.
didn't get it. The other coup leader but Shanti Dhariwal eventually got it. And you're saying he's in a tough fight. He's that old style leader who's been in and around politics for years.
Gehlot loyalist.
So let's now come to Vishwaraj Singh Mewar,
CP
the
Joshi.
prince of the erstwhile state. He is trailing or looking in a tough spot in comparison with CP Joshi of the Congress. Surajdeep was just mentioning the man who lost out by one vote, who could have potentially at one time
2008.
being chief minister. He's looking strong. So this is Rajasthan. Is there anybody else you want to spend some time on?
Professor Gaurav Ballabh,
Okay.
someone who's been in and around television.
Who lost the
screen.
last election in Jharkhand,
That's-
now has come here.
It's a
and
very-
he's
He
up
spent so
against
much time in Jamshedpur and
Tara Chand
XLR.
Jain and guess what? So the governor of Assam, Gulab Chand Kataria, is the one who enjoys a lot of support in Udaipur. So he's written to the election commission, Professor Gaurav Ballabh, saying that Gulab Chand Kataria stayed put for 20 days, the Assam governor in Udaipur, meeting people during elections. But anyway, so
he's
it's a very
a
polarized
professor in
election in
finance.
Udaipur.
And
This
it's
was-
interesting, someone who contested an election in 2019 in
Jharkhand.
Jharkhand and lost.
He's a professor at
Where he's a
XLR.
professor, but he tells me that Udaipur is his sort of homeland, and he's come back home.
But it's so polarized, Rajdeep. This was the first election that the Prime Minister held where he invoked Kanhaiya Lal, if you
That's
remember.
right.
One interesting character is Mahant Balaknath. Now, let's just take a look at what's happening in Tijara. He was the number 2 candidate in that list of who people wanted as chief minister in Pradeep's data. He came out after Ashok Gehlot, followed very closely by Vasundhara Raje Scindia. Could he, Ashok Malik, be chief minister? Is he like a Yogi Adityanath
the
kind
Yogi
of
of
character?
Rajasthan, as he
I think that is media speculation more than.
Pradeep, what are you picking up? What was the popular? He
See,
made some controversial statements.
My job is to report what people are saying. So people are saying 10% to Mahant Balaknath versus 9% to Vasundhara Raje ji.
To my mind, if the BJP gets more than 120, one of the buzz in the
That is just gossip.
Hey, they got a gossip. We are speculating at the moment. Kaun banega Mukhyamantri? The BJP wins. Diya Kumari has given up.
No.
one
But come
minute.
on, if you want to replace Vasundhara Raje Scindia, you can't replace one royal and make Diya Kumari the chief
And
minister.
giving
Why
her
not?
the safer seat for the BJP.
Why not?
If you
Arey,
want
then the BJP
Rajneesh,
wants to
if you
say
would
we
have
want to
stood on the
move ahead
BJP
from the
ticket from
Rajmahal.
Vizianagar, you
We
would
want
have
we want somebody who's from the masses. You can't remove Vasundhara and make Diya Kumari. I mean that
Not possible.
Ashok, that baffles me. I mean,
this is not
you will
possible.
probably
Yeah, I
end up getting a very strong organizational face with strong BJP RSS connections, possibly
Look,
as chief minister, you're
as
saying.
an alternative to Vasundhara, if
look,
that is possible.
if the BJP gets more than 120,
It can do
only
whatever.
person who knows who's going to become the chief minister
Is Mr. Modi.
is someone called Mr. Modi. If anyone had told me, for example, in Haryana in 2014, that Manohar Lal Khattar is going to become the chief minister, I would have said, you must be joking. The line had all the Captain Abhimanyu Singhs, all of them were lined up. Who does Mr. Modi make? He makes Mr. Khattar. I mean, the famous story of Bhupendra Patel. In that meeting when Mr. Rupani was removed, he was sitting in the back row. And suddenly it was announced, Bhupendra Patel. Mr. Patel turns to the person next to him and said, "Ye Bhupendra Patel kiska naam? Mera naam hai." That literally happened.
Oh, come on, someone
That,
is
lit-
just
no, that
making up.
literally happened. He
But
did
he
not
was
know.
surprised.
Balaknath fancies his chances quite a bit. He's had Yogi Adityanath come in, campaign for him. And you saw that because it was a polarizing election. And that's why he stands where he does in our poll at 10%. Because people are connecting, echoing with the polarizing narrative. Therefore, Baba Balaknath, Rajasthan ka
That's one
Yogi.
way, ma'am. There are two ways to look at it. If our numbers are right in Rajasthan, the polarizing narrative has had
Has not
limited
worked.
impact.
Has not worked.
Then why will I make Mr. Balaknath?
True.
Please appreciate.
Then
If-
it's Vasundhara Raje.
Right. So if Vasundhara Raje, I think if it's a hung assembly,
Yes.
chances
Or
strong.
close.
Or close. If it is a 120, just go to 7 Lok Kalyan Marg and Rahul will tell us who's the next chief minister of you'll have to find out from Mr. Modi's mind. You'll have to go inside his
ऐसा
mind.
पंगा लेने का ही नहीं बस why
No, see, Rajdeep,
Why guess? If you don't know,
BJP has tried to effect a generational change in many states.
Yeah.
In some places successfully, in some places like Karnataka, a little unsuccessfully.
Right.
So if you have 130, 140 seats, you will try and affect it.
Sure. But at the moment, our polls are not showing 130,
Agreed,
140.
point,
So,
absolutely.
given our polls, I think Vasundhara Raje will be happiest with Pradeep Gupta. She's already sent him a box of fruits yesterday.
कौन सा fruit मिला आपको?
Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Rajneesh, problem, don't say these. The problem is you say this and people who are
nobody.
watching are imagining that actually a box of sweets
अरे
has come.
नहीं यार, कहाँ आता है?
अरे सर यही तो problem है.
वो
Official ऑफिशियल हैंडल से ट्वीट हुए वीडियो को लोग बोल रहे लीक हो गया, अब आप बोल रहे हो बॉक्स ऑफ स्पीच पीपल आर सेइंग कुछ मिला होगा इसको.
But some of the independents that you speak to in Rajasthan, they're very open with allegiance. Yunus Khan, who's close loyalist of Vasundhara Raj, is very open. He, right now standing as an independent from Didwana, was sent in 2018 to fight against Sachin Pilot. They're not given a ticket. The only Muslim face of the BJP. Very open.
Okay.
Says, if it is Vasundhara, I'll go back.
No, he's going to win.
And he will win. In
By
all
all
probability.
indications on the ground,
Yunus
Yunus Khan
Khan,
will win.
Yes, in all probability he should.
So he
Okay, so now I want to come to Chhattisgarh. So let's come to Chhattisgarh and let's look at the VIP seats of Chhattisgarh and try and get a sense of what's happening in Chhattisgarh. So we'll take you through Raman Singh and Rajnandgaon. He's looking strong. Bhupesh Patel in Patan looking strong again, the incumbent chief minister. Interestingly, Amit Jogi, Ajit Jogi's son, is against Bhupesh Patel. He's looking weak on that seat. Vijay Baghel, nephew of the chief minister, who's an MP in that area, he's been made to fight an MLA election. He's looking weak. So this is actually one of the big fights on Sunday. Vijay Baghel, Amit Jogi. This is like a big tucker. This is like the big battle of Chhattisgarh.
You know, the buzz was that Amit Jogi has been pushed into this battle by the BJP. The buzz is the BJP gave him a chopper. The BJP told him to tie up, sue, all third front candidates who didn't get Congress or BJP tickets, take them all together. And in Chhattisgarh, margins can be low. And as our poll says, the others are getting a substantial share of the vote. So I think Amit Jogi may not be able to take Ajit Jogi's legacy forward. And I
He's a highly controversial character.
he himself is. But Ajit Jogi, when you talk to people, he's very well regarded. You talk to people, they will tell you administratively, they give a lot of credit for Chhattisgarh's emergence in those early years to Ajit Jogi. Ajit Jogi lost out in Congress politics, eventually became, formed his own
Lost
party.
out because of his own misdeeds.
He did, but what you and I, that's why I say you and I in studios think that Ajit Jogi was identified with corruption, with sleaze. On the ground, Ajit Jogi has a very strong vote of people who felt that he stood up for their rights.
Okay.
So
this is
that's an
T.S. Singh Deo in Ambikapur. He's looking strong. The former, erstwhile prince of the principality of Sarguja, he's looking strong. Remember, in that area of Sarguja, the Congress had done very well in the last elections. They would hope to do an encore. And of course, T.S. Singh Deo is looking strong, but if around him, he's not able to hold on, it will make Baghel's task tougher.
I spoke to someone close to T.S. Singh Deo, and they made an interesting point. They said, हमारे आदमी को आपने मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बनाया despite आश्वासन. आपको लगता है इस बार भी हम उसी तरह से वोट देंगे? You see, people have
In Sarguja Sambhag, which is Sarguja division, 10 seats, BJP is doing extremely good in this region, except this seat of.
You see, because that's, people felt, and there were Rahul Gandhi had reportedly given a commitment, 2.5 years to Bhupesh Baghel, 2.5 years to T.S. Singh Deo. And suddenly T.S. Singh Deo lost out, eventually was made deputy chief minister just a few months ago. He's a very nice man. If I was ever to find a nice man left in Indian politics, T.S. Singh Deo would be right up there. He's a genuine gentleman.
No, but you can't compare Baghel's popularity with that of T.S. Singh Deo and his command over his MLAs. Bhupesh Baghel demonstrated the MLAs rally around him. Now, when it comes to BJP effecting a generational change in the post-Raman Singh disposition, the one person they're speaking about is Om Prakash Chaudhary. Om Prakash Chaudhary used to be a former government officer. He gave up his IAS. When the top BJP leadership goes, they call him in, they talk to him, consult with him. And he's really emerged as an important character in this election. He's, of course, very young. Will they pick a young face like this? We don't know just at the moment, but he's a former government officer, very well regarded in BJP circles.
He is doing lots of social work even when he was IAS
He and
officer.
Arun Sao are seen as the Gen Next.
Rated very highly as a civil servant. He's got a social work, body of work. Even outside his government.
But if the BJP wins, I would bet on Arun Sao becoming chief minister, because they have consciously worked on building a leadership outside the sort of upper caste, traditional dominated leadership of the BJP in Chhattisgarh. And Arun Sao represents that new generation. The BJP is always very quick to see is if they can find strong OBC faces, strong
And they
non-upper caste
lost a
faces.
lot of the South vote in the last elections.
Which they, they gave 14 seats to Sahus this time. Out of their 90 seats, 14 have gone to the Sahu community. The BJP has realized this is a community which may well stand with us. So he's a potential chief minister. The BJP can pull
The
out.
other big BJP face there coming from the trader community is Brij Mohan Agarwal. But remember, the problem in a tribal state with somebody coming from the trader community is that there's a pushback that you get from the poor and impoverished as far as the community itself is concerned. But former State Home Minister Brij Mohan Agarwal looking strong in his seat of Raipur City South. He's a very strong politician on the ground, so he's looking strong in Raipur South. So is there anyone else we want to spend some time with? So Rajdat Sahu, we can take a look at that and what's happening in rural Durg. He's the State Home Minister. He's looking strong in Durg Gramin.
He was the third person who was hoping to become chief minister. Baghel, Sahu and T.S. Singhdeo were in that battle. Baghel won out, Sahu lost out.
The other interesting thing that I can do, which we didn't get a chance to do yesterday, using the post-poll data, is to show you what the new and old maps of Chhattisgarh will look like. And one of the reasons that we do this is in the interest of transparency to actually put out the seat-by-seat data. So on this side of the screen is the data from 2018, the last assembly election results. This side is what the new assembly of Chhattisgarh could look like. And when you see, there's some very clear trends that emerge. The Congress is coming down from a very exalted plane where they were last time. The BJP, which had really collapsed, has bounced back. So those two trends which we were talking about in the build-up, that continues to happen. And that this really is a tight fight. Momentum, 26 seats up the BJP, 45, 23 down the Congress, which means, momentum in favor of the BJP and against the Congress.
The big change is taking place in the tribal belt. You go to Bastar and Sarguja, 25 out of the 29 seats last time went to the Congress. There was a sweep in Bastar. They won 11 out of 12, won the 12th in a by-election. Now look what's happening. You're seeing in the tribal belt the BJP making gains, both there in South Chhattisgarh. And that, to my mind, is where this election gives the BJP half a chance.
So I can isolate Bastar and try and show that. So this is what Bastar will now look like according to the poll. This is what happened last time, and this is what's likely to happen now. So that is as far as Bastar is concerned. This is the overall state map. Now, the thing over there, Rahul Verma, is if you see here, the trend is pro-BJP, BJP graph bound, going up sharp, Congress's graph coming down quite a bit. Typically, when that happens, the BJP pulls it away. So it'll be interesting if Pradeep's poll, which directionally shows the Congress in front, actually comes true.
See, I think there are two reasons why it may still remain what we are seeing. One, I think the gap that BJP and Congress had in 2018 is very, very large. Second, I think 6 months ago, it seemed that BJP had given up the fight and Congress was much ahead in the game. I think BJP realized very late in the game that there is massive sort of like anti-incumbency against the MLAs. And if they get their ground game right, they can actually give a tough fight. So what I sense is happening that BJP's campaign only picked up in the last 2 months. And that's basically about it.
No, so also it's if you look at the historical trend line for Chhattisgarh, this is BJP basically coming back to the mean, which we've seen because typically in 2003, the BJP had 50 seats, 50 in 2008, 50 in 2013. After that, it crashed. So that election is really the outlier. Now they're almost coming back close to where that trend line has been. The Congress has been below the BJP in a very flat kind of fashion, almost suggesting as if nothing happened in the election, which is obviously not true, and went up massively and is now coming back to where that traditional line in
because
Chhattisgarh has been.
2018 election in Chhattisgarh was an outlier. Otherwise, 3, 8, 13, all were very, very close elections.
Especially in vote share.
Yeah.
They remain extremely close.
Now do the same thing.
I just want to add one point over here among the Bastar and tribal belt of Chhattisgarh. This time the GGP, which is the tribal party, Gondwana Gantar Party, and BSP, can you imagine the alliance of Adivasi and Dalit this time which is happening and which is cutting the Congress vote and BJP's emerging victory?
Guess who sponsored that alliance?
I don't know that.
That's the buzz on the street in Chhattisgarh. That's the buzz that this alliance You see, the BJP realized, and this is where the micro strategy comes in. You realize that if we can have a consolidated third alliance, they may well take the votes of the Congress, make it a tighter fight. I'm saying it. That's the way politics is.
Yeah, but-
you might often sponsor a third party.
Why was BJP able to do this in Chhattisgarh and even perhaps Madhya Pradesh, but not in Rajasthan? Like, is there some internal sort of politics that's pushing BJP to do something?
So
in
let's
Chhattisgarh
come to
but not
Rajasthan and let's look at the power map of Rajasthan. Now here on this side of the screen is the 2018 results. You see the regions of Rajasthan which are in blue. Those are Congress regions. The saffron regions are BJP regions. The purple is the others. What you're seeing on this side, which is a big change, Rajdeep, from the last time, is that the BJP is doing well in pockets of Rajasthan where the Congress had done well last time. And that is interesting. There seems to be a lot of changes in many of the regions, which were earlier saffron, now blue, which were earlier blue, now saffron.
The BJP story, Rajdeep, is in East Rajasthan here, at least where the Gujar vote has completely or broken, at least with what our is showing, because in 2018 it had en masse they thought the promise of Sachin Pilot becoming the chief minister had gone to the Congress. And if you look at areas like Tiroli, Dholpur, Bharatpur, Sawai Madhopur, that's where you'll see the BJP making inroads.
I think there are two areas where the BJP will hope that
Shekhawati, the other one.
that while Pradeep's poll may be directionally right, they get a disproportionate benefit. One is Eastern Rajasthan, one is the area in and around Jaipur, and one is Shekhawati. You see, traditionally, Congress has done reasonably well always in Shekhawati. But as Pradeep's poll shows, there's a tough fight there. As Pradeep's poll shows, Eastern Rajasthan, BJP is picking up. And in and around Jaipur, as someone told me, take the highway from Delhi to Jaipur and see who's winning along that highway. You'll find this time that the BJP does better. How much better is the question? Because Pradeep's poll shows Mewar clearly going towards the BJP, Marwar slight edge for the BJP, Hadoti slight edge for the BJP. Correct me if I'm wrong. But where the Congress seems to be doing well, Ganganagar, Bikaner areas, and the Congress seems to be doing reasonably well.
Dhundar.
Sorry?
Dhundar region Congress is doing
That's right.
extremely well.
You see, that's where Dhundar was the region where the Congress was expected to do not so well. If the Congress is able to hold its own there, then you've got a tough fight. What Rajasthan is showing, it's virtually seat by seat. There's no region except for Mewar where one side is sweeping. So even Eastern Rajasthan, it's not a sweep.
No.
You see, that means that the Gujar vote, even if it is leaving, is not leaving en masse.
Exactly.
And from Pradeep's micro data, what I sense is women again. Women are giving 4% lead to the Congress over
But
the BJP.
Rajdeep, Shekhawati 2018, the BJP only won 3 seats. An area like Sikar, 8. In a district like Sikar, 8 seats. BJP didn't even win 1. This time they are in a fight.
Yeah, but they're winning small. They're not sweeping a region.
They're not sweeping.
You see, that's why
they've never swept Shekhawati. They have never swept Shekhawati.
If they sweep, to BJP, when it's won, has usually won big in Rajasthan. You look at their victories in 2003 and 13, they're big victories. There seems to be something which has changed on the ground in Rajasthan, if Pradeep's numbers are right. And the only change I see is women.
Rebels, women and rebels.
Rebels and Dalits. You see, the point which was just made by Rahul, why is it that the poorer Dalit and tribals in Rajasthan are not doing what it appears they're doing in Chhattisgarh and certainly in Madhya Pradesh? And they can, we don't know. Maybe the welfare benefits, the Mehengai Rahat camps, all of them have gone and reached the poorest of the poor. And across the states, we've seen that. In Karnataka, we saw poorer regions voted for the Congress. Are we seeing, at least in Rajasthan, the Congress being able to hold on to that lower income group, which the BJP perhaps has not been able to tackle?
In the few minutes that we have, I want to introduce Ashok, T.S. Sudhir and Rahul to the strength scan and our viewers as well. This, to my mind, is one of the most fascinating insights that you will pick out in real time on Sunday. As of now, this is powered by the seat-by-seat data that Pradeep has given us. So this is a BJP SWOT analysis for Madhya Pradesh. It tells you what worked and what didn't. The BJP had 58 safe seats in Madhya Pradesh, which means seats that the BJP won in every election for the last 3 elections. So if you see the seats which are the darkest shade of saffron, those are the seats that the BJP has been winning for every election in the last 3 elections. Our data suggests that the BJP is likely to win 45 of those seats. So 45 out of 58 safe seats, which is a good number, they kind of hold on to. Why the BJP in Madhya Pradesh seems to be doing well is because they have 82 relatively safe seats. Now, relatively safe seats are B category seats. These are seats which that particular party has won in 2 out of 3 elections. So if you won that seat in 2 out of 3, we classify it as a relatively safe seat. The BJP has won 57 out of those. And interestingly, and this is where ticket distribution and the fact that tickets were given out much in advance, the BJP is now expected to bag 46 out of 79 weak seats. Weak seats are seats which they won only once in the last 3 elections. Very weak are those which you've never won in the last 3 polls. The BJP expected to bag 4 out of 11. So a lot of the micro detailing that Amit Shah and the BJP in Madhya Pradesh have been working on is helping them in the very weak and weak seats where they are picking up 46 out of 79 seats. Right?
Now, can we do a similar analysis for Rajasthan? Because in Rajasthan, BJP wins big, which means that BJP should have more safe seats.
I can do that
What's
very quickly,
happening
but
there?
our producers also want us to take a break and come to Telangana. And everybody in Telangana was waiting for the numbers. I think, boss, ye to kal aadha bata diya. Come to Telangana. So everybody's waiting for that. But since Rahul Verma has asked for that, I'll do a strength scan for Rajasthan. Again, it will also help ensure that everybody gets what's being said, and this helps everyone prepare for Sunday. Not just our newsroom preparing, but all of us who are watching together also get a sense of this data. So, on the 28 safe seats of Rajasthan, India Today Access My India predict that the BJP will bag 19 of them, which is not a good number. If you have 28 safe seats, they're safe because you are expected to bag them. This should be 24, 25, 26. On the relatively safe seats, 1 out of 3 wins for that party, 36 out of 77 wins. On the weak seats, weak because it's 1 win in the last 3 polls, the BJP bagging 31 out of 76 and only 5 out of 19. That's not a good. Think of it as cricket. Yeah. You want your strong batsmen to do well. You want your all-rounders also to chip in. And agar tail ender ne bhi maar diya to balle balle. That's not happening. But let me show you the Congress numbers so you get a sense of how the Congress is faced. Congress winning all their safe seats, but they have only 5, so that's not big. Congress winning 27 out of 60 relatively safe seats. Congress winning 29 out of 82 weak seats. And interestingly, winning 21 out of 53 very weak seats according to Pradeep's data. And that is a bit surprising.
You know what this would show?
A bit of an advantage.
You know what
Seems to give the Congress a bit of an advantage.
What this would show is that there is a lot of churning of sitting MLAs. You see, where MLAs may have been there twice, thrice, people are looking at them and saying, I may not necessarily want them anymore, particularly BJP MLAs. You know, that's the interesting factor. This election, because the BJP is not putting up a top leader, they are relying on their MLA strength. The Congress's MLAs seem to be at the moment holding their own, while the BJP's MLAs may not be doing as well if Pradeep's numbers are right.
So think of it. Rajasthan has 200 seats. 50 seats Congress has never won. Meaning to reach 100 seats, they have to convert that from 150. So they have a much bigger.
No, I can explain that. So this is the BJP's gains and losses. BJP gaining 7 seats in Ahirwal, just 1 in Hadauti, 4 in the Jaipur region, down 1 in Jaisalmer, Bikaner, up 6 in Marwar, minus 1 in Mewar, up 2 in Shekhawati. The Congress, on the other hand, if you look at the data, shows down 5 in Ahirwal, down 1 in Hadauti, up 2 in Jaipur, up 2 in Bikaner, Jaisalmer, minus 4 in Marwar, plus 1 in Mewar, and minus 2 in Shekhawati. And the point, Rajdeep, is this level of micro detailing and analysis, forget any other Indian network, international networks would struggle to do this. That is true.
You know, the big picture is what happened 5 years ago in Madhya Pradesh will happen this time in Rajasthan. You will be here till 10 p.m., possibly even later. It's going to be an election.
It's a Sunday. We don't want to be here.
It's going to the wire. It's an election that's going to go down to the wire where you will go region by region. Seats will change, narrow margins. Trust me, that's the election that I believe out of all the states, the state that's going to go to the wire, the cliffhanger of 20.
But the big excitement is in Telangana.
This was the case with
and
Chhattisgarh.
we are slipping into a break. When we come back, what you've all been waiting for, the most awaited exact poll for Telangana. Even those who are hoping to be chief minister, hanging on to every word, saying batao, batao. We'll do that when we come back on the other side of a quick break. You're watching India Today's coverage of the exact poll. We return on the other side.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
We live in the age of EI, election intelligence. India's most powerful analytics engine is ready and raring to go. Seats, votes, margins, swings, strength scans, strongholds, cutting edge live insights powered by India Today's data intelligence unit. No network can compare, no channel can compete. Your one-stop destination for live election analysis. Election intelligence, only on India Today.
पचपन सीट तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीत जाएगी। जो गैप दिखाया जा रहा है, वो चाहे सरगुजा का हो चाहे बस्तर का हो, उन सीटों को यदि एनालिसिस किया जाए तो उससे बड़ा स्पष्ट होता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी और ज्यादा सीटों में जीतेगी और कहीं न कहीं 52 से 55 सीटों पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी बढ़त लेकर स्पष्ट बहुमत से छत्तीसगढ़ में सरकार बनाने जा रही है।
एग्जिट पोल सबके अपने अपने तरीके हो सकते हैं, लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार अच्छे पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ बनेगी और उसके कारण है लोगों में बदलाव के प्रति जो पूरा आकर्षण था कि इस सरकार जो पिछले 5 सालों में प्रत्येक मोर्चे पे फेल रही है, उससे पूरा बदलने का मूड है।
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
मैंने पहले ही कहा था, मध्य प्रदेश में कोई कांटे की टक्कर नहीं है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी भारी बहुमत से जीतेगी। प्रधानमंत्री जी के प्रति प्रेम, उनका नेतृत्व, अमित शाह जी की रणनीति, नड्डा जी का मार्गदर्शन और हमारी प्रदेश की सरकार की अनेकों योजनाएं जिनने जनता की जिंदगी बदली है और विकास, ये स्पष्ट बताते थे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी भारी बहुमत से जीतेगी। मैं तो हमेशा आत्मविश्वास से भरा रहा और मैंने सदैव कहा कि जो एग्जिट पोल कह रहा है वो लगभग जन भावनाएं हैं और हम भारी बहुमत से जीतेंगे।
सरकार तो भाजपा की ही बन रही है सभी जगह और ये जनता ने अपना मत स्पष्ट किया है। टक्कर तो होती है, जो चुनाव है उनमें आपस में जब चुनाव लड़ते हैं तो हर व्यक्ति अपना अपना मत अपने जनता के सामने रखता है, अपना अपना विचार, अपने काम जनता के सामने रखता है। तो जनता ने काम देखा है और इसलिए भाजपा जीत रही है, क्योंकि भाजपा ने काम किया है केंद्र से लेकर और राज्य तक।
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Co-presented by Aapka Joy, Bharat Ka Joy, Joy E-Bike. Co-presented by Nexa, Create Inspire. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat.
मोदी जी के हैं दो यार, ओवैसी और केसीआर।
राहुल के दो प्यार हैं, एक इटली और एक मोदी।
केसीआर कांग्रेस मिलके आज రైతు బంధు रोका है। हम पहले से बता रहे दोनों एक ही है।
Arguably the most fiercely contested and colorful election of 2023. The battle, or dare I say, the war for Telangana, India's newest state, has also seen politics reach a frenzied pitch. And that's the final state that we are turning to in the Axis My India exit poll.
You've been waiting since 6 p.m. yesterday for the Telangana numbers. We'll have them out for you in a moment. I want to take you through the methodology deployed by the India Today Access My India team for this poll. So that 26,188 respondents, this is a robust stratified sample, which means to the extent possible, it's matched to the percentage of each community in the state across the geography of Telangana. 61% of it was done in rural areas, 39% in urban areas. And there is massive, unprecedented and unbelievable frenzy around what may happen. I have just been told that in the residence of one of the leaders who's hoping to do well in this election, people have started coming with flowers. That leader is saying, no, I don't want any flower right now. Let's sit, we watch India Today. So he's watching, hello, hello. So he's probably watching at this time and they're saying, let's see the numbers and then we'll take the flower. So that's interesting. So Tia Sudhir is with us. We've got Akshita Nandgopal, who's in Hyderabad. She's been there. I don't know whether she's planning to move to Hyderabad for good or not, where she's saying she's loving the response she's getting about our coverage. And what a lovely backdrop. What a lovely backdrop, Akshita. You don't mind going to Hyderabad? Hey, you have to come back, you have a show to run.
Secretariat, Rahul.
So what's been the buzz around our poll and around the coverage in Telangana, Akshita?
Rahul, I stepped out here 15 minutes ago. Someone came up to me and said, Madam, India Today? I said, yes. Madam, exit poll start ainda, which means as the exit poll started, I said, it's just about to start. They're like, okay, ma'am. And they went away on their phones, hooked. And that's been what the response has been since yesterday. They felt a little cheated, I must admit, Rahul, that a lot of people came up to me
whose side are you on? You can't use words like cheated.
Why are you holding it off? So they felt a little cheated yesterday. No, they did. They told me yesterday, you didn't put it out. We feel, betrayed. Why didn't you put it yesterday? So now, 24 hours later, we're ready with the numbers, Rahul. I don't have it yet. So hopefully, you'll end my suspense as well.
Yes, we will. Nagarjun Dwarkanath joins us as well. Nagarjun's been leading our coverage in Telangana and he's been accosted by different people who are asking him, poll batao, if he doesn't tell them. One of them was a cop. He thought, the poor guy thought he'll get challan. T.S. Sudhir, what's the buzz that you've been picking up across Telangana around the elections and especially around this post-poll study?
Well, there are the exit polls, then there is Pradeep's poll, and then there are the results. So everyone is obviously waiting because of the track record of Pradeep Gupta. But yes, the elections were very fiercely contested and everyone thought that this would be a cliffhanger, which Rajasthan now seems to be going like. The other exit polls have all given, most of them have given the Congress a majority. So yesterday the Congress camp started celebrating. In fact, Revanth Reddy said, celebrate karna shuru kar do, we are going to win. In fact, a lot of activities already taking place in the Congress camp about who will be the ministers. Some kind of background checks are also happening.
The Congress, Rajdeep, gets carried away very quickly.
Well, look.
They're counting
well, 2018, many of them had stitched their sherwanis also.
Really?
Yes.
They thought they were winning.
Yes, 2018, it happened. In fact, that's something which the BRS always taunts the Congress
Rashid Saab, what is this? Let the chicken hatch at least.
शेरवानी में फिर परेशानी छुपा ली होगी.
The thing is that for the Congress party, Telangana is more than just another state in many ways. Because remember, some would say one of the big mistakes the Congress made in the UPA years was allowing the split of Andhra Pradesh to take place. Because what happened at the end of it, you lost out in both states. You lost out Andhra Pradesh and you lost out in Telangana. And it cost the Congress because the Congress came to power in 2004 and 9 on the back of dominating Andhra politics. And there's no sign of revival of the Congress in Andhra Pradesh. So Telangana becomes critical for historical reasons. There's an emotional appeal. Sonia Gandhi has claimed, or the Congress would like to claim, that it was Sonia Gandhi who eventually decided, no, we've got to give Telangana to the people of the state, create a separate state. And there is a sense that after Karnataka, what? You see, was Karnataka a flash in the pan? Or do you have the capacity, the organizational strength to grow beyond Karnataka? So Telangana, as the first southern state after Karnataka, carries huge importance for the Congress. Plus, as the exit polls are showing, there is no Hindi heartland state where the Congress appears likely to win as per our exit poll for sure. They have a chance in Chhattisgarh, they have a chance in Rajasthan. So they need Telangana today to feel over the next 48 hours something to look forward to. So if they're wearing a Sherwani, good luck to them.
One more thing, Rahul, you see, if you look at the track record of Congress, wherever there was a rise of third front, Congress lost out badly. You look at UP, you look at Odisha, you look at Bengal, you look at Bihar, several states. So in one state in Telangana, if they upstage BRS, it would be a big success
Pradeep,
story.
explain, why did you hold the data back? What are you able to do today which you couldn't do yesterday?
See, before poll or while poll on the same day, you are not getting the exact responses from the people. But the moment poll happens, then nobody bothers and they are likely to give you 99% the correct responses. Before poll or during the poll, they may say voted for X party, they may not have. Or they may change their mind later on.
Particularly in southern India, Rahul will correct me, there's a fear factor. We've seen it in Tamil Nadu. Why is it at times that you get a poll wrong in Tamil Nadu? Because people often do not tell you the truth on camera. There's a fear factor. Also, as we've seen in states like Karnataka, there was a time when Karnataka voted in 2 phases. And I remember an exit poll that we did. We got the post-poll bang on of phase 1. But because of pressures of television, we did the phase 2 on the same day itself. And we got it wrong. Because it's very difficult on the same day to be able to get the surge in voting patterns that might be taking place and get an exact number. Very, very difficult.
Plus, I have a reason for this. When political parties do their own post-poll analysis, they want to know here and now what's happening. So they have people standing outside polling booths, and that political party pollster, who's actually a worker for that political party, tells the voter when he comes out that he's from XYZ opinion agency. Right? So he tells them that he's from a polling agency, and very often people believe that if they reveal, because in especially a lot of the South Indian states, they've also given money as part of the whole electioneering process. So you've given money, you want to know whether the guy voted for you or not, and therefore also the voter misleads you by not giving you the correct answer. Therefore, standing outside a polling booth and trying to count your beans is an exercise fraught with risk. Nagarjun Dwarkanath joins us before I put out the first data set for Telangana. Nagarjun, what's been the buzz around our coverage? Where are you right now? What's happening there? I'm told Telangana waiting to know what the exit poll that India Today and Access My India are about to put out.
In fact, the last 1 hour, Rahul, has been extremely pressurizing for me. Neta said that you promised 6 o'clock, but 6 to 7, you have not given the numbers. You're giving us analysis of other states. How long do we have to wait for? So I have to put off my phone. I had to put off my phone for at least 15 minutes so that no one calls me, especially in Congress, in BJP and BRS. All the Netas have been calling, saying not just the final numbers. They've been asking seat to seat division as to how many seats we are winning. Give us the data about district wise as well. So I've been saying wait till 7 p.m. But now that we are here at 7, with just minutes away from the data as well. But what is interesting is that I've been told that in Revanth Reddy's house already celebrations are happening. People are coming with flowers, bouquets, sweets to congratulate him. Seems like the mood is quite upbeat in the Congress camp just before the exit poll as well.
Okay, we've got 2 very special guests joining us. Keshav Rao is a veteran. He's been a right-hand man of KCR for many years. Appreciate your joining us, Member of Parliament. Also joining us is Suresh Babu. Appreciate you joining us. But first you, Keshav Rao, I mean, are you also, have you been ringing up Nagarjun Dwarkanath wanting to know the numbers?
Well, I have not. As a matter of fact, I expected Nagarjun to talk to me about the figures, which he did not do.
Acha, you wanted him to call you and tell you the numbers.
The poor guy doesn't have the numbers. How will he call you, Keshav sir?
Suresh Reddy, have you been calling up? Suresh, have you been calling up Nagarjuna and asking for the numbers?
Yeah, keenly waiting for the result, surely, but couldn't track him.
Okay, so let's get started.
Sitting in
Okay?
front.
We don't want to linger the suspense any longer. So here it is on your screen right now. Rajdeep, you want to come along? Why did people vote the way they did? So we'll take that question first, because very often you can actually pick up the mood in the state with just the response to this question. What triggered voting behavior? Why did people vote? 25% of those who voted said they voted for change. They voted for whatever they thought could better their condition. 15% said they voted for the development of the state, which really doesn't mean anything. It could mean either of those parties. So that's not so indicative. But the fact that 25% say they voted for change, that's a big number there. Good work done by the present government is 12% because of Prime Minister Modi. It's true. Remember, the Modi factor was much bigger in some of the other states, not so big in Telangana.
I think when you look at that number, and if you look at even the tracker polls done, compared to other states, the chief minister's popularity rating was not as high. He's been a nine-year chief minister, came to power in 2014. So he seems to be suffering when you look at these numbers potentially from a 9-year age.
Oh, and even our pre-poll data was showing that of all the poll-bound states, the maximum anti-incumbency was against Chief Minister KCR. So let's now come to the next question. Who do people want as the next chief minister? This again is interesting because you've got one man who's been chief minister in the new state of Telangana. Nobody else has. So you've got K. Chandrasekhar Rao coming in on the top at 32%. Revant Reddy, who used to be in the Telugu Desam, moved over, joined the Congress, now led the Congress's campaign. He comes in at 21, and anybody from the Congress comes in at 22. So if you add 21 and 22, you're at 43. That's the Congress percentage versus 32 with K. Chandrasekhar Rao.
And that's well below what the BRS's own vote percentage last time was. They won 46% of the vote. So you would expect, and he's a one-man show. So if I'm a BRS supporter, I would naturally want KCR as my preferred choice. There's nobody else there. So when I get 32% against 46%, which is my party's vote share, clearly not all BRS voters now choose KCR as their preferred choice. They're clearly drifting and looking at options.
But there's one very important point I want to flag, which is that, the BJP removed Bandi Sanjay Kumar, who used to head the Telangana BJP, and brought in Kishan Reddy instead. And then in the middle of the campaign, projected their OBC leader, Etla Rajendran, as the chief ministerial face. These people don't even figure in the list of those who people responded when the question was asked who should be the chief minister, even amongst the BJP voters. The only character who features is Bandi Sanjay Kumar. So Etla Rajendran is not there, Kishan Reddy is not there. Do you think this is like an epic error? That the one batsman who's batting well in the pitch of Gachibowli, you remove him, you bring somebody else who's not able to score.
Rahul, you should see the BJP's strategy in a different perspective here. Particularly, they are not thinking about the state election this time because they know for sure it is not about who is going to be the chief minister candidate. But what is more important, last time they won 4 seats out of 17 total. It is important who can hold the entire state into this thing and give good fight in the coming
Sudhir, was
Lok
this
Sabha
a
election.
potch-up of monumental proportions?
It is like, not asking Virendra Sehwag to open the batting, and with due respect to Cheteshwar Pujara, making Cheteshwar Pujara open the batting in a T20 game. It was akin to that. Bandi Sanjay infused a lot of energy and dynamism into the BJP.
And he was acerbic, he punched back.
I mean, he was getting under KCR's skin. The BRS was constantly in reactive mode to whatever, outlandish at times, but whatever statements he would make. And then to replace him with the Reddy community, and then to again go back and say that, no, we will appoint a BC MLA as the chief minister if we come to power. So your communication messaging was completely messed up.
But the story here is neither Bandi Sanjay Kumar, it is this man, Revant Reddy.
Yeah.
Because if you had asked the question 12 months ago, I don't think Revant Reddy may even have figured necessarily at the top of the Congress's list. The Congress had a number of other leaders who they saw as
Why did they pick him?
I think they picked Revant Reddy as part of a generational change, as someone, I think they realized it's almost the old YSR model. Sudhir will know better. That someone who goes up and is ready to bat on the front foot. One of the feelings was the Congress was afraid of of KCR. They were not willing to bat on the front foot against KCR. Go and challenge him, ready to go to jail. You want to arrest me, and KCR was ready to do all that and
No,
more.
there is also one more reason. There is also always a suspicion that many in the old congressmen are Trojan horses.
That's what I mean. They
So
were
this
hand in
man,
glove with.
this man is taking on KCR directly.
And Rahul,
And
he
even
joins,
though,
he joins the Congress in 2018.
Even though the thing is very interesting, he's an outsider.
Yeah.
Technically, you ask a congressman in Telangana, they say he starts his career as an ABVP activist, spends the longest time of his career in the Telugu Desam, and eventually comes to the Congress, wins the election, a Lok Sabha election in 2019. But there's an interesting connection he has with the Congress. His wife is the daughter of Jaipal Reddy's brother.
Niece.
So effectively Jaipal Reddy's niece. And they come from the same village in Mehboob Nagar. And, I met Jaipal Reddy's brother. And I have a lot of fond memories of Jaipal Reddy. Any journalist who covered politics in the 90s would. He was a very fine party spokesperson. Originally, and I always saw him as an anti-establishment figure. He actually didn't like being in the Congress, I believe, because he was a Janata Party man. He was at his happiest when he could take on the Congress and the BJP. Eventually came to the Congress, wonderful man, great intellect in many ways, and served you the best Andhra lunch you could get. The prawns that Jaipal Reddy served you, only Venkaiah Naidu at times could match it. But the point I'm trying to make is Revanth
So much
Reddy.
for insights, data analytics, visualization. Here comes
Revanth Reddy comes from that family, and he was very, he was happy because I made the mistake. Revanth Anna, Ovesi was telling me that you are actually ABVP man. So he immediately brought Jaipal Reddy's brother to me. Jaipal ji, Mr. Reddy, you tell this man, am I a RSS man? Can I be RSS? I am Jaipal Reddy's, I come from his family. Because Jaipal Reddy took on the RSS always. So Revanth Reddy seems to have that street fighting spirit. And I think the Congress needed that because the Congress's party, it's an indolent party. It wants to be in power without working for power. YSR changed that. YSR went on that yatra and changed the Congress in 2003-4. And Revanth Reddy went on a yatra and has done it to the
Keshav
Congress.
Rao, are you alarmed by the first set of data that we've put out, which seems to suggest that 43% want anybody from the Congress or Revanth Reddy, and only 32% want K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who was hoping to come back to power for the third time, something which no chief minister in any southern state apart from MGR has done. So is this hugely alarming for you just at the outset? Keshav Rao, sir?
Well, tell me, is the question to me?
It is, sir, it is.
Can you please come again?
So my question is,
can you come again, please?
in some of the comments that we saw from Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao in the last phase of campaigning, he was saying things like, if I lose, I'll go to my farm, nothing will happen to me, but all the schemes that I give you, the welfare, Aitu Bandhu, all of that will be taken away from you. So he seemed towards the end of the campaign to have entered into a defeatist kind of mentality.
Rahul, you are reading too much in between the lines. It is usually, it does happen. He's a man with a gift of the gab. He talks very well. He gets connected with the people with whom he's talking. And when things were going on, including the exit poll sort of a surveys or sort of a talk, he just said that it did not matter because I have served you for 10 years and I've made you a state which are supposed to be the most backward region of the country, as far as the Planning Commission is concerned, has today is vying for the first place in the country, for the best place in the country as far as the development sector is concerned. So this is a usual thing I have seen in India today, and you particularly talking about these particular 2, 3, 4 sentences, which I said, don't give much of an importance to that.
Okay, we're joined at the moment by someone who could well be Chief Minister if the Congress wins. We are talking about Revanth Reddy, but there is another face who would want to be Chief Minister. I'm told he's joining us. Bhatti Vikramaka, are you joining us at the moment? Thank you very much. Can you join us? Are you with us, sir?
The Congress party represents all sections of the society. Why do you want to?
Are you joining? Appreciate your joining us, sir. I think he's on a different call. I think he's on a different call, a different channel. We will try. I mean, that's the nature. He's obviously much in demand. But I was told by my producer he's there. But, you know, he is potentially someone who was, Sudhir, am I right?
You mentioned Revant Reddy 21% and others, anyone from Congress 20. There are 7 more claimants.
But is he the leading claimant?
Because he's the SC phase from Khammam district where the Congress is expected to do very well. So he would be one of the leading faces.
And their CLP leader.
And their CLP leader went on a long Padyatra, pretty much like YSR, dresses like YSR. So in that mold, and he has been a Congress loyalist. His brother also in the Congress party has been an MP. So pretty much a strong claimant for the top job if the Congress decides to not give it to a Reddy.
Okay, so let's look at the geographic breakup of the voting in Telangana. This is as per the India Today Access My India exit poll. Let's just show our viewers what's happening in the different geographies of. I'm getting lots of messages, interestingly, from Telangana leaders saying, show us the poll results. We have to go for a meeting. Arey, sir, we have a show to run. Please sit, watch the show. How can we show the polls because some leader wants us to show the poll earlier? So, okay, here it is on your screen right now. The rural on this side and urban on the other. In rural areas, you've got the BRS down 13% from the last time. In urban areas, the BRS is down 10% from the last elections. The Congress is at 44% vote share in rural Telangana. That's up 9% from the last polls. The Congress has 41% vote share in urban areas. That's up 14% from the last time. The BJP has 14% vote share in rural Telangana, up 8%. BJP has 15% vote share in urban areas. That's up 6%. The AIMIM is kind of where it was. Not up, not down, but they also fight a very concentrated race. After this, let's look at the gender breakup of the vote share of Telangana. And when we look at the gender breakup of the vote share for Telangana, again, interesting trends there. What's very clear in the initial data that we've put out is that the BRS is on its way down, the Congress is on its way up. And in just a moment, we'll answer the question of whether the Congress has enough petrol in their tank to be able to cross the finishing line. Or I think it really comes down to that. So can we have the gender-wise breakup for Telangana on the screen as well? So here it is on your screen. 34% of the men in Telangana said they voted for the BRS. That's down 9% from the last time. 38% of the women said they voted for the BRS. That's down 13% from the last time. The Congress, 43% male vote, up 9% from the last time. 41% female vote, up 11% from the last time. So Rajdeep, the Congress showing a good performance in the initial data sets that we've seen so far.
Not just good. This is very good because you're up by double digits in every criteria that you see. Rural, urban. Remember, this election in Telangana is being fought in rural Telangana. You've got the 24 seats of Hyderabad, which effectively the BRS and Oasis party have dominated. You're essentially therefore looking at 97 seats. Out of those 97 seats, the Congress has to win 2/3 to get to form a government. You need 60 plus. So the rural numbers are what the Congress will look at. And when I look at that gap of 9% in rural Telangana, that could well be the election. Gender is tough. KCR schemes have worked among women. He has reached out to women. Let's be clear. KCR has been a very successful chief minister. Look at most per capita income. Look at investments. Look at agriculture. Today, in terms of output in paddy, Telangana has gone ahead. It's marched ahead. It's number 1 in the country. So there is lots that has been achieved. What is very clear, though, is the anger against MLAs. Anyone who went to Telangana realized that the MLAs are the focus of anger. And because KCR did not, he dropped what, 7 MLAs? Sudhir will correct me, dropped 7. That's not enough. You see, you've already broken every party. You've got a huge majority and you choose not to drop any of your MLAs. And I think that's where you will find the rural divide very stark in Telangana. And I'm surprised by the male, 40, it's an 11% lead among men. That doesn't happen too often. Normally, the male voters tend to be much more, the margins are lower.
9% lead
But that's
among male and only 3% among female.
Yeah, okay. So I think KCR schemes worked among women. He's targeted women voters in the past, the Shadi Mubarak scheme, the various
But
what we say in Telangana is that KCR has a cradle to grave philosophy. From the time you are born to the time you are dead, I have a scheme for every stage of your life.
So what has changed? Why is it that, Sudhir, the same voters who 5 years ago were rewarding KCR appear as of now, early numbers not to be rewarding him just 5 years later? The schemes are the same. He's actually increased the number of schemes with schemes like Dalit
don't
Bandhu.
think if the BRS does badly, we don't know the numbers yet, but if the BRS does badly, I don't think it would be entirely because of bad governance. It would be largely to do with perception. And as you mentioned, the anti-incumbency against the sitting MLAs, most of them being renominated, being told, the people were told that we are going to give them another 5 years extension. The people did
Why
not
did
want
it change in 5 years? In 2018, the same MLAs, now people are angry with them.
Your guest is through.
Okay. Bhatti Vikramala, thank you very much
So
for
first you
joining
pronounce
us.
it well.
Vikramarka.
Bhatti Vikramarka, I appreciate your joining us, CLP leader there in Telangana. Am I talking to someone as you smile as a potential next chief minister of your state? Sir, am I talking to a future chief minister of the state? Can you hear me?
You are speaking to Bhatti Vikramarka, the present CLP leader. Yeah.
Yeah, so does that mean I'm also talking to a future chief minister if the Congress wins?
Yeah, if everything goes well and the party decides, yes.
Yes. Wow. So you're openly saying in a way that you are more than you see yourself as a potential chief minister if the Congress does well. Am I correct as CLP leader? Because a lot of talk is about Revant Reddy as your party president. Am I hearing from the CLP leader? Mera bhi number hai.
No, it's not like that. What I'm trying to tell you is, you see, I know how things goes in the Congress party because I've been there in the selection. I mean, from 1980s onwards, I've seen how the selection of the CM candidates takes place. After the elections, our CLP meeting is called, and the CLP, all our Congress leadership will come there, takes the opinion. And after taking the opinion, the party high command will decide the candidature. Then whatever the party decides,
you're not ruling yourself out from the race, but how confident are you that the Congress will cross 60? Because 60 is the magic mark. Could it be that you fall just short? Is that a real worry?
I'm saying Rajiv ji, I'm saying I'm very confident. Not only 60. Congress party will get in between 74 and 78.
74 and 78.
Hello.
So you're saying to us 74 and 78, and you are very much in the race to become chief minister.
That all depends upon my party's decision.
No, I'm told you have a very good relation with Rahul Gandhi.
Of course, I have a very, very good rapport with all my leadership because I've been working in this party from 1980 onwards. So, as student leader, I have taken the then Prime Minister Rahul ji to my Hyderabad Central University as the chief guest.
Okay, one other Congress leader who hopes to be chief minister in Telangana is having messages saying he has to come live quickly. He says, "Jaldi aao." He has to go for a meeting. He wants to come live quickly. So, but I said, we haven't put out the numbers just yet. He said, doesn't matter, just come, I have to go for a meeting. So let me take you through the region-wise breakup because they have their own flow, which is kind of interrupting what we're trying to do. But let's go through the region-wise breakup of Telangana. 119 seats in Telangana. Let's deal with North Telangana first. 33 seats over here. This includes the districts of Adilabad, Kamareddy, Karimnagar, Nizamabad. So let's take you through what's happening in northern Telangana. Remember, this is where the BJP thought that they had a fighting chance. And one of the interesting insights in the Access My India post-poll study is that the anti-incumbency vote share in northern Telangana is getting split 2/3, 1/3. 2/3 of it is going to the Congress. 1/3 of the anti-KCR, anti-BRS vote share is going towards the BJP. So anti-incumbency here getting split. The BRS ending up with 35% of the votes here, the Congress with 39, the BJP with 21. converted into seats, the BJP expected to bag 5 seats. All of these are new seats. The Congress at 15, up 10. The BRS at 13, down 14. So that's Northern Telangana. Do you want to quickly explain a bit about Northern Telangana and how the anti-incumbency vote seems to be getting split between the BJP and the Congress here?
Yes, Rahul, this is the reason where BRS split vote getting splitted among the Congress and BJP, 2/3 and 1/3. 2/3 is going to Congress and 1/3 is going to BJP. And this is the reason holding back, in fact, the Congress party to claim the very big win. This is the reason. And Hyderabad, you know, Owaisi's party. Yeah.
One second. Let's now come to Central Telangana. Let's just keep it calm. I know everybody's really excited and they want to get to the numbers. Let's just go very smoothly from north to central. So Central Telangana, now on your screen, 31 seats in Central Telangana. This includes Khammam, Mehboobabaad, Medak, Sangareddy, Siddipet, Warangal Rural, and Warangal Urban. Let's take you through what's happening in these 31 seats here. And this is quite phenomenal. The Congress vote share is at 49% in our post-poll study. That's up 21% from the last time. Remember, Rajdeep and I disagreed. He said the Congress will need a mini wave. This is not a mini wave. This electorally is a tsunami. The BRS down 15%. That's at 36%. They were at 51 the last time. The BJP at 7, up 4%. But the Congress at 49. The Congress will be like, oh my God, what happened here? 49%, like half the people in Central Telangana Congress voting for the Congress. When have they last seen something like this?
Historical trivia, when Indira Gandhi had to go and fight an election, when she was down and out, she chose 2 places over the years that she did. First time it was Chikmagalur in Karnataka. The second time in 1980 it was Medak. And Medak was, in a sense, and this part of Telangana was a Congress bastion for a long time. It's not as if Congress ever dominated the Telangana region, but this was one area which they traditionally dominated. But 21%, Sudhir, are you surprised with these numbers? What it seems at the moment, we've seen Northern Telangana, where the BJP has done well. They've won Lok Sabha seats. They've got a couple of seats in Adilabad in the past, in Nizamabad. But here you've got, in Central Telangana, potentially a complete sweep of the entire region.
And this is a significant region because this is where Medak is where KCR's constituency is. You have Harish Rao, his nephew's constituency. Karimnagar is adjoining. So in that sense, this is considered to be a bastion of BRS. So I would be a little surprised, and so would be the BRS by these numbers.
So you're saying you've got, he's contesting, KCR is contesting 2 seats.
Gajwel and
Kamareddy. Your sense is this could suggest that KCR is in trouble in Gajwel as well.
No,
and in Kamareddy.
Well, Gajwel, if KCR
loses, that is his bastion.
No, and that would actually question the entire development agenda because Gajwel has been completely transformed, which means people are saying development mil gaya, abhi jao.
But Revant has taken him on in Kamareddy, so there's a possibility.
Kamareddy is a totally different story. That will be the election to watch out for because the BJP candidate is a local of that area. Revant and KCR by extension could be seen as outsiders.
You wanted to make a point now.
So 2 points. Given the Telangana's sort of like political geography, if Congress has to do well in the election, it has to be in the central and southern region because Hyderabad, it's not their place, and North BJP is also picking up some votes. So if they don't do well in central, then the election is very, very tough for Congress.
Second point, you could end up seeing, a bit of an urban-rural divide here.
No, it's a very sharp urban-rural divide. 49% is huge. I mean, this is massive. This is, it is a tsunami in that sense. At least, it's a pocket tsunami. It's not a...
So let's come to Hyderabad.
See, last time BRS secured 51% vote in this region.
Sure.
And only 28 by the
point I'm
Congress.
making is where in the recent past has the Congress seen 49% vote share anywhere? So when they're seeing 49%, they're like really happy.
This is the ab Lord Chale moment for the Congress. I mean, the voters are coming back in a big way from 1970s and 1990s. They're coming back to the Congress in a very big way.
No, but I want to get
this election. Rashid Saab, just for this election. Now, whether it extends or not, we don't know.
This will extend in Lok Sabha also.
No,
how do you know that?
No,
because the voting pattern is such.
No. You saw what happened in 2018, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh.
No.
This assembly election means very little for
Rahul, India is a very diverse country. We must understand we can't use the same Madhya Pradesh, Madhya Bharat yardstick.
Ashok Malik wants to respond.
Even in Telangana, I mean, from 88 seats, a assembly TRS, it came down to only 9 seats in Lok Sabha. So it didn't really.
No, let Ashok Malik respond. He thinks what's happening here will happen in Lok Sabha.
See, that's a separate matter. I think what this state, let's discuss the state election first. We'll come to the national election later. I think the last 2 state elections in Telangana was really the euphoria of the creation of Telangana. That carried BRS through for 2 elections. And you're now moving into a more normal state election.
No, but there is a reason. No, I think we've got to understand the caste breakup. You see, while we look at Telangana, why the Congress will feel reassured by some of these numbers. What is Telangana's caste breakup? The maximum, the largest proportion of more than 45% are OBCs. You've got 16% Dalits. You've got 14% Muslims. You've got 9% tribals. In parts and pockets of Telangana, when these communities come together, it becomes a very formidable coalition. The point is, in India, one size doesn't fit all. Many of these this backward caste, Dalit, tribal also exists in Madhya Pradesh. But that votes very differently to what is voting in Telangana.
This used to be the Congress's coalition in this region till the euphoria of the creation of Telangana.
But even within Telangana, you see North Telangana. North Telangana has, tends to vote very differently to Southern and Central Telangana, which votes very differently to Hyderabad. So, I think what the Congress can take some satisfaction is that there is a pocket in Telangana where the old caste coalition is returning and consolidating.
Akshita is with us. Akshita, what are you picking up on the first 2 regions we've put out? You've traveled extensively across the state. Does it correspond with what you picked up on the ground, Akshita?
I'll admit, Rahul, that I'm pretty surprised by these numbers because, I traveled a lot in North and Central Telangana. I was in Karimnagar, in Kamareddy, I was in Nizamabad, in Warangal, and all of these areas. These are essentially the BRS strongholds, essentially like the crown of Telangana. It's a lot more developed. It's where you've got KCR, KTR, Kavita, all of them putting their energy, Harish Rao too. So, if the BRS doesn't manage to do well in North and Central Telangana, then I'd say that, this is essentially gone, a washout for them of sorts. But I will say that from my ground experience, when I was in North and Central Telangana, I didn't sense this large amount of anti-incumbency. There was still a lot of people who said that, look, we will vote for BRS. We do believe that KCR will bring us development. So I'm a little surprised, I must admit, by the numbers in both North and Central.
Okay, I want to come now to Hyderabad. Remember, 21 seats here. Stronghold of the BRS, stronghold of Asuddin Owaisi, who I'm sure is watching as well. So here it is on your screen now for the first time, the India Today Access My India numbers for Hyderabad. In the 21 seats of Hyderabad, the BRS has done quite well. Here, remember, unlike the other 2 regions that we've seen, the Congress up from the last time. They had only 1, so this time there are 3. The BRS was at 12, they're at 11. But given how the other regions have been, it's quite different. The BRS from 40 has come down to 36% vote share. The Congress is at 28, up 10. The BJP is at 16, up 2. So the BJP has actually done quite well, but not as well as they did, Pradeep, during the municipal elections. I keep going back to the municipal election because at that time it seemed like lots of people were coming out supporting the BJP. From there, they seem to have fallen a bit.
These days, people vote for the winning cause. Loyalty factors has come down drastically across the country. And winning cause is the something in municipal election, they can easily sense that BJP is likely to win, so as they voted for it. Same goes with general election also. In BJP could win only 1 seat in Telangana last assembly election, and they win 21 assembly segment in Lok Sabha. So see the difference.
But this is a setback. Pradeep, for the BJP, you cannot tell me now. 1 minute. You cannot tell me in municipal elections I have come a strong number 2. I am now a poor number. No, 1 minute.
This is region, boss. This is region, not city. Municipal is city only.
Within the city, there's one addition that you can put. The fact is the BJP has failed to maintain the momentum of 2020. This tendency to say when BJP does badly, then I vote of municipal election tha, ye Vidhan Sabha. It's time to accept that the BJP expected, let's be honest, if you looked at 2019 Lok Sabha, and you add 2020 municipal election, BJP expected
But for
a certain
several
momentum.
months, they've known
It's
that they're not doing
sustainable.
well in Telangana.
2020, the entire anti-incumbency vote, because Congress was completely down in the dumps, shifted to BJP because it seemed like that's the party which can take on the BRS in the municipal elections.
Rahul Verma
Now it
wants to
seems
comment.
that the Congress is on the upper.
No, so how can you say that that's not a setback for the BJP? The fact is that the anti-incumbency vote, which went to the BJP in 2020, is now going to the Congress.
Rajdeep, you need to compare the one MLA they won in 2018 with how many MLAs they win now. You need to compare apples to apples. Lok Sabha and municipal
How can you not? How can you not? Because, Sudhir, 1 minute.
14 to 16.
Sudhir.
Now suddenly you got
Rajdeep, let me make 3 points. One, I think you are in some ways right. BJP had some momentum and they have not been able to carry forward that momentum. And Sudhir, in his first sort of like remark, admitted that BJP has botched up what they were building up. Have they improved from 2018? Yes, they have improved from 2018. But what was expected has not happened.
Yeah.
Point number 2, I think, which is to what Ashok was saying. See, in 2018, Congress has also aligned with TDP, and TDP is seen as a party of Andhra Pradesh. So, and the numbers which we are seeing for Congress in 2018, which was very, very low, is also because of that electoral alliance they had stitched. And this time, basically, they are gaining in the central and hopefully.
The fact is the Congress has taken over as the premier force to take on BRS, which was not the case.
I agree with you, Rajdeep, but you're also looking at a post-KCR BRS, the big question mark about it.
Sure, but
so a second party
So
will
let's
emerge.
now come to the caste-wise breakup. See,
So
as
the
I
central, south.
अरे रुको ना, सब बता दूंगा तो बाद में क्या करेंगे आप रुको थोड़ा सा. 1 second, sir. Everybody is just very on the edge and anxious and nervous. Just calm down. It's just a poll. We are very keen that you go through all the effort that we made and understand the actual voting pattern, because the moment the seat share and vote share numbers out, then people say, "Baki hame pata hai." It doesn't work like that. Okay, so let me take you through the caste-wise breakup, the community-wise breakup. So the tribals are 4%. Now, when we said that OBCs are 38%, people said, "Oh, there's been no caste survey, so how do you know OBCs are 38%? Ye pura farji hai, etc." Let me just try and explain what that means so that you're clear. When we say OBCs are 38%, it means 38% of this sample. In that robust stratified sample, 38% of the 26,000 people we spoke to were from different OBC communities. It doesn't mean we are saying the 36% of Telangana is OBC. So please get that right and don't try and catch us on some comma or full stop. That's not fair. Okay, so amongst the tribals, the Congress has 48% vote share, up 8 from the last time. The BRS at 34, down 10. The BJP at 13, up 9. Amongst the Dalits, 20% in our sample. The BRS is at 35, down 10%. The Congress is at 51, up 13%. The OBC, the Congress is at 43%, up a whopping. Now this again, Rajdeep, would warm Congress hearts because 43% of OBC vote. You know, they've been itching for these kind of numbers in many elections and not finding them. Telangana seems to be saving them and giving them some joy.
You know, just as we tend to pump up the BJP, we tend to look at every mistake that Rahul Gandhi makes, and he's made several. But let's be very clear.
You're crediting this to Rahul Gandhi?
No, let's be very clear. Just as Rahul Gandhi has not been able to strike a chord in the Hindi heartland, Rahul Gandhi, south of the Vindhyas, particularly post the Bharat Jodo Yatra, look at all the numbers of the Congress. These are similar numbers to what we saw in parts of Karnataka. Where you saw a similar coalition emerge, there you had Siddaramaiah as an OBC face, there you had a strong SC and ST consolidation around the Congress and a Muslim consolidation. You're seeing that in Telangana. To my mind, the kind of politics that Rahul Gandhi practices is subject to diminishing returns at times in the Hindi heartland. The same kind of politics that he has practiced has given him the Congress momentum south of the Vindhyas because they've emerged as the challenger.
Sudhir, would this be BRS's botch up, anti-incumbency against the state, or is it Rahul Gandhi's victory?
This OBC point, it's interesting because the BJP thought they would corner most of the BC vote because they gave tickets to as many as 40 BCs. Much more, I mean, both BRS and Congress gave about 23, 24. So in that sense, the Congress getting much more than the BJP and the BRS would actually
the BJP
bring joy.
promised an OBC chief minister.
Promised
The BJP is
OBC chief minister. Most of their prominent leaders, the people who are contesting, are BCs.
So let's now come to the second set of communities that I want to show our viewers the data for. Let's look at the general castes. So 12% in our sample. 36% of them voting for the Congress. BRS has more at 39, so 3% gain for the BRS over the Congress amongst the general caste. Interestingly, the Muslims still 41% for the BRS, 37% for the Congress. Is that something that surprises you, T.S. Sudhir? The fact that people thought that because the Congress seemed to be in the race, the Congress would do well amongst the Muslims. The Muslim vote seems quite split. AIMIM 14, BRS 41, Congress 37.
Yes, it is a little. I was going through Pradeep's figures. I'm a little surprised because the feeling one got on the ground is that the Muslim outside of Hyderabad
So they
were
won
moving
despite
towards
not
the
having
Congress.
all the Muslim vote.
Were moving towards the Congress away from the
ये आप
BRS.
क्या बोल रहे हो? Because what people would conventionally expect is that if the Congress is doing well, Muslims ek push, ek tarfa, they came towards the Congress.
In fact,
Your
during the
data
Bharat
seems
Jodo
to
Yatra,
suggest
you
that's
saw
not true.
minority movement towards, if there was any impact of Bharat Jodo Yatra, it was that the minority votes were
But this
consolidated.
data is
You must realize, sir, that the majority, there's a large number of Muslim votes which are Hyderabad.
Hyderabad region,
right?
Yeah.
28%.
There is a substantial section there. The other parts of Telangana where there are large Muslims are also strongholds of the BRS in Nizamabad and Adilabad district. These are, you see, the fact is that where the Muslim sees a possibility, where the BJP is, seen as a challenger, possibly he's gone with the BRS because the BRS seems to be the party which is going to get, going
So
to
it
win
would be more
the
constituency-wise
It's a constituency-wise demarcation.
Yes.
You've got Owaisi holding his own. Interestingly, according to Pradeep, Owaisi is virtually where he is. You've got the BRS
Yeah.
remaining relatively stronger among Muslims than they are among Dalits, tribals, and OBCs. But that's because in those areas, the BRS is much stronger and individuals of the BRS are
Yes,
stronger.
and let me give you the one data point only.
See, it is something like, the Congress beating Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh vis-a-vis Muslim votes. Because the BRS, remember, it has a very strong, pro-Muslim stance and pro-Muslim credentials. So if the Congress is able to, get, half of it or so, it's a very, a kind of, solid beginning for the party.
No,
But it is a bit of a surprise.
important
I would
here
have
is-
thought the numbers would have been higher.
Please understand, I'm giving you one data point which will clarify all your doubts. 28% population in Hyderabad region of Muslims alone. And rest of the Telangana only 9%. So 3-time difference here itself. And there is an oasis factor also, which is getting a good
No,
number
but
of
the
in
fact
this
still
thing.
is, if the Congress is doing well, it's despite not getting a disproportionate share of the Muslim vote.
But Muslim vote in rest of the Telangana is 9% versus 81%.
So we'll slip into a break. When we come back, we will have the last region, which is the South. We'll put out the data for you. And then the moment, well, all of Telangana and everybody even remotely interested in Telangana politics has been waiting for. I have the final seat share, vote share numbers coming up. And then the man who hopes to be chief minister, I won't tell you who, but a man who is quite convinced he's chief minister. There are people waiting at his house with flowers. He's not taking those flowers, waiting for the numbers and only then wants to take the flowers. That's how seriously he's taking the poll and everybody else is taking the poll as well. So we'll have the final numbers for Telangana for you when we come back on the other side of a very short break. You're watching India Today's exact poll for Telangana, the climax, the finale on the other side of this break. Stay with us. We are back in 2.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest. Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
We live in the age of EI, election intelligence. India's most powerful analytics engine is ready and raring to go. Seats, votes, margins, swings, strength scans, strongholds, cutting edge live insights powered by India Today's data intelligence unit. No network can compare, no channel can compete. Your one-stop destination for live election analysis. Election intelligence, only on India Today.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 26 and minimum 16 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 27 and minimum 24 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 32 and minimum 19 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 26 and minimum 19 degrees. Chennai, maximum 28 and minimum 24 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 28 and minimum 19 degrees.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest. Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
हमने लाइफस्टाइल फॉर सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के सिद्धांत तय किए। हमने वैश्विक स्तर पर रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी को 3 गुना करने की प्रतिबद्धता जताई। भारत ने ऑल्टरनेट फ्यूल्स के लिए हाइड्रोजन के क्षेत्र को बढ़ावा दिया और ग्लोबल बायोफ्यूल्स अलायंस भी लॉन्च किया। हम मिलकर इस नतीजे पर पहुंचे कि क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस कमिटमेंट को बिलियन से बढ़ाकर कई ट्रिलियन तक ले जाने की आवश्यकता है। साथियों, ग्लासगो में भारत ने आइलैंड स्टेट्स के लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रेजिलिएंट इनिशिएटिव की शुरुआत की थी। भारत 13 देशों में इससे जुड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स तेजी से आगे बढ़ा रहा है।
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest. Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Co-presented by आपका जॉय भारत का जॉय जॉय ई-बाइक। Co-presented by Nexa, create inspire. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat.
Welcome back to our special coverage of the Axis by India exit poll for the state that everyone wants to know who's won, the state of Telangana. We've gone virtually region by region and we've still got one more region to go. So it's not a done deal, far from it.
So I have my coffee. I hope you have whatever it is that you want to drink tonight. And we, in a short while from now, will tell you who is likely to win Telangana as per the India Today Access My India post-poll studies. I go across to this side of the screen, Rajdeep walks across to the other side, and I'll take you through what's happening in southern Telangana. 34 seats here, the biggest region by seats in Telangana. This includes Mehboob Nagar, Nalgonda, Rangareddy, Suryapet. So here are the projection by Axis My India for India Today for southern Telangana. India Today is predicting that the Congress is likely to bag 27 seats in southern Telangana. That's up a whopping 21 from the last time. All these gains largely coming at the expense of the BRS, which is crashing to 6, down 22 seats from the last time. And I don't think people who are Congress supporters would have seen this number in a very long time. 51% of the voters in southern Telangana said they voted for the Congress. More than half of everyone who voted said in our poll they voted for the Congress. That's up a phenomenal 20%. This is not a mini wave. This is, as I said, a tsunami if these numbers are correct. The BRS losing 12% vote share in southern Telangana. The BJP at 1 seat, 8% votes, not really in the race, languishing at a distant third. 27 seats, up 21, 51% vote share, up 20%. Sudhir, is this corresponding to what you would have thought is happening in southern Telangana?
Southern Telangana is where the Congress is most strong. Southern Telangana.
51% vote share?
Yes. Mehboob Nagar. And also, I'm not sure whether Southern Telangana also includes Southern Telangana. It's essentially Nalgonda. In fact, most people believe that they may sweep the entire Nalgonda, undivided Nalgonda district, 12 seats. Mehboob Nagar, from where Kodangal, where Revanth Reddy is also contesting. So these are the areas. Rangareddy, I would be a little surprised. Rangareddy is where the BRS is pretty strong.
So with this set, ladies and gentlemen, get set for that moment you've been waiting for. We will now present the data for all of Telangana. Rajdeep, take it away.
But as you said, there's a tsunami. The tsunami has largely been in southern and central Telangana. And the big question is it enough to take the Congress to that magic figure of 60? 119-member assembly, the Congress needs 60. Why? Because the BRS could get the support of Mr. Owaisi and who knows, even of the BJP. First, let's take a look at vote share. When we look at vote share, as per the Axis by India exit poll, 36% BRS, that's down significantly by 10%. Congress 42%, up 13, but remember you can add the TDP, which was its ally, it's up effectively 10%. So one side has lost 10, the other side has gained 10. The BJP 14%, compared to last time, it's a big jump. It's a 7% jump compared to last time, but it is nowhere near as enough for the BJP to be in any kind of contention. The AIMIM remains effectively where it is at 3%. Others have come down from 11% to 5%. So it's become increasingly a case of the Congress capitalizing on any anger against the BRS and going up from 28 plus 4 with the TDP, now up to 42, 10% swing for the Congress. How does that translate into seats? Has the Congress achieved the magic number in Telangana? Will they be finally able to get the seats, the keys to Hyderabad? Yes, is what the India Today poll done by Axis My India says. Look at those numbers. As per our polls, Congress 63 to 73, halfway 68, so well above 60. The BRS 34 to 44, halfway for them is 39. They've slipped and the Congress has taken over that space. BJP 4 to 8, still in single digits with 6. AIMIM, which won 7 last time, could lose 1 seat at 6 seats. So you've got a situation now where the Congress appears set, as per the Axis My India poll, to win the battleground state of Telangana. That makes, Rahul, possibly the best news that the Congress has got in the last 24 hours. Rajasthan, they don't know whether they'll win. It's going to be a cliffhanger. Madhya Pradesh could be a demolition for the Congress. That could be a huge setback as per the Axis by India poll. Chhattisgarh also is no guarantee. It's closing in there. But Telangana, Southern Comfort. If I was a Congress person, my drink would be Southern Comfort, because it was Karnataka 5 months ago. It's now Telangana. The Congress is not able to do it in the Hindi heartland, but somehow they are opening the gates to the southern part of the country. So that's the big number, 68.
This is not just good news. This is, by Congress standards, a miracle, because in 2019 and for a long time afterwards, it seemed that Telangana was lost. That Telangana would be a BRS versus BJP battle, that the Congress was down and out. And that's frankly what it seemed like till the Karnataka results. T.S. Sudhir, from the low of the Hyderabad municipal elections, the 2019 polls, till before Karnataka, the Congress looks as if they've lost their cadres, they've lost their leaders. To find their mojo and hit it out of the park in style in Gachibowli.
Absolutely. In fact, we used to always say for the BJP, the gateway to South India is Karnataka. Now, Congress, in its newest avatar, Karnataka was the gateway, and Telangana will be the second gateway to the southern part of India. But yes, I'm not very surprised, because given the kind of anti-incumbency that one saw in rural Telangana, the results are not really surprising. The surge in the BJP's numbers also would actually gladden the BJP. The number of seats, it may seem less, but in terms of vote share, they've almost doubled from the last assembly elections. So that would be good news for the BJP as well. For the BRS, renominating so many MLAs, making them candidates once again, that has cost the party dear. Plus the entire feeling that the chief minister is inaccessible, the MLAs who are both inaccessible, arrogant, as well as corrupt, all these perception matters really affecting
Ashok
the BRS.
Malik, why did there was anti-incumbency? One of these two parties had to gain and the Janta did the rest. Why did the BJP not gain at the expense of the BRS and cash in on the anti-incumbency?
Look, we could always go into the various factors, including the lack of a pan-Telangana leader, which is still to emerge in the BJP. Yes, you're quite right that there was a certain momentum post-2019, which the BJP lost out on. In recent months, some people who had joined the BJP from other parties started going back to those parties.
Including the campaign committee chief.
In Telangana.
Manifesto committee.
But there's one thing I'd like to point out. We are now headed for possibly a post-euphoria of Telangana creation polity, a post-KCR's peak polity. I'm not saying he'll disappear, but it's the 9 seats, I think, is BRS won in 2019 Lok Sabha election, if I'm not mistaken, out of 20, are now up for grabs between BJP and Congress. They're vulnerable there.
In fact, the BJP will hope to make gains in the Lok Sabha, given these numbers. That's where they will look for vulnerabilities. But I think what has happened is, call it the 10-year itch. Since the great MGR, the MGR is the only southern chief minister to win 3 consecutive elections. KCR was hoping to do so, and you would have bet on him 1 year ago. If you looked at the politics of Telangana
Where do you think he went wrong?
I think he just repeated too many candidates. If you look at KCR's own popularity, while our polls may show he wasn't as popular as he was 5 years ago, I traveled and didn't see any anger against KCR, the individual. His welfare schemes work. He has some very, very original welfare schemes. Raitu Bandhu is a scheme which has been ahead of its time, well before Kisan Samman Nidhi that the Prime Minister initiated. Some of his other schemes in irrigation and for housing, for women's development have all been path-breaking. The problem, Rahul, is that when you become this isolated, larger-than-life figure, you perhaps feel that your charisma is enough to win any and every election.
But Rajdeep, don't you think here you also somewhere down the line need to give a little bit credit to Rahul Gandhi? For example, he's held over 40 rallies in Telangana, double the amount that he's held in Rajasthan or in Madhya Pradesh. He was popular during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. There might be a Revant Reddy, but there is also Rahul Gandhi, which is somewhere on the ticket in Telangana.
If you recall, I said this about a half an hour ago, and you've got to give credit to the Congress leadership. You've got
Sonia
to give
Gandhi's only campaigned in Telangana, not anywhere else.
She didn't even, she didn't campaign as such. The fact is Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra campaigned, no doubt.
And he is
but
popular.
I do believe at the end of the day that state elections are eventually won by the quality of your state leadership. The national leadership gives you an incremental factor, no doubt about it. But the difference, Rahul, between the way the Congress did Telangana with Madhya Pradesh.
Rahul Gandhi wasn't allowed to campaign.
Sunil Kanogulu a year ago was given charge of Telangana. KCR, in fact...
But he came only after the Karnataka elections.
No, he started even before that. A year ago, the preparation was started. There was even an attempt to raid his office. You will recall FIRs were being filed by KCR's party. The Congress post Karnataka got access to resources, which is important in a state like
Telangana, they'll have even more.
That's right, very important. And the Congress got its act together and allowed Sunil, Revant Reddy, and others to work relatively autonomously. Rahul Gandhi, I maintained earlier, the Bharat Jodo Yatra, if it has had a sort of, in public perception, the recall value seems much higher south of the Vindhyas than north of the Vindhyas, and it is translating into votes, importantly, as we saw in Karnataka as well.
No, but there is no, once again, just before we get carried away with the hype, unlike that question which we asked, and we'll do it next time, how many people voted the way they did because of Prime Minister Modi? In a state like Rajasthan, it's as much as 17% of the overall population, not just the BJP votes, went the way they did because of Prime Minister Modi. Here, Rahul Gandhi is one of the factors. He's not the main factor. So let's not get carried away. You can't
but
take
he is
away.
a factor, Rahul,
Of course.
where in states like Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, he's no factor.
No, you see, you
But
can.
I'm
A lot
saying
of
it's
his
not
rallies were cancelled in Madhya
Let's,
Pradesh.
for
But
example,
here,
take Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan. The pull of a Modi is much more than the pull of Rahul Gandhi.
comparing it, Rahul. We're not comparing
but
a
we're
Modi
hyping
to a
him up
Rahul
as if
Gandhi.
Rahul Gandhi's hit the ball out of the park at
Nobody's
the
hyping him
Gachibowli.
up, but you have to give him
The
credit.
guy who's done it.
But give him credit, that's you.
Let Rahul Verma.
Nobody's hyping him up.
Let me make 2 points on this. See, I think Congress has also realized that in southern India, they have higher chance. So even Bharat Jodo Yatra spent many more days in southern India. Second, they have been organizationally stronger in the post-1990s Indian politics in the southern part of India compared to the northern part of
No, but
India.
in Telangana, they largely lost their
No,
organization.
but see, even after that kind of fiasco, creating two states, even in 2018, they had a 30% vote share, right? This election was tough for them because they had to get a 8 to 10% of swing, which is not easy. It's not that it doesn't happen. So in some ways, yes, Congress, I think multiple factors worked in favor of Congress. Bharat Jodo Yatra, Karnataka winning, Revant Reddy, Kongalu team working, and then BJP also not pulling up on what they were expecting. Right?
So we see a lot of this from Congress echo chamber in the weeks and days to come, seeking to attribute of this victory to Rahul Gandhi.
You know, with due respects, most state elections in India, with some exceptions, are won largely because of state organizations, state leaders, and state factors. The national leadership plays a role. I'm not denying that in terms of organizing, for facilitation, 1 or 2 big rallies or speeches. But in most cases, it is the state or politics that matters. Even here, I'm not taking credit away from Rahul Gandhi. He is the leader of the party, fair enough. And the Bharat Jodo Yatra certainly showed that traditional Congress voters, especially minorities, were consolidating behind him. And we saw that.
But that doesn't show in the polls.
If I have one quarrel with Pradeep's numbers, I think perhaps the Muslim factor in the Congress's victory is being underestimated.
Okay.
No, but can I just make the point? Because I think, look at Karnataka, what happened. Karnataka would not have been won without Siddharamaiah and Shiv Kumar.
Correct.
Shiv Kumar and Siddharamaiah led from the front, and that is what builds an organization. The national leader provides the incremental leadership. Rahul Gandhi's, having said that, Rahul Gandhi's popularity, and you look at all your polls that you've done, is much higher south of the Vindhyas than it is in north. Similarly, Mr. Modi's popularity is much less in most of the southern states. You will recall even ahead of 2019, even post Balakot, in states like Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, his popularity was well below what it is at the national level.
It was still outholding.
So therefore, what happens when you have an election where people? This election is to vote out the BRS. Yeah. Let's be very clear. These numbers that are coming in both in southern and central Telangana, where one party is getting 49%, 51%, is to vote out a party. When you vote out a party, you're looking for who is the party most likely to win that election. As it has turned out,
so I just want to tell our viewers,
now, are you going to give credit to Rahul Gandhi?
On your screen right now is the man who should get a lot of the credit.
Yeah.
Revant Reddy, most likely to be the next chief minister of Telangana. He just went to change his clothes. He was waiting, watching the entire coverage. People had come to his house with flowers. He said, I'll take the flowers later. Let me see the numbers first. He had some meetings to attend. He said, okay, let's cancel all of that. We'll first go live. The others who Rajdeep is needling and telling them they'll become chief minister. He said, that's not good news. It never can be. So he comes most recently from the Telugu Desam, has been a part of the Telangana movement as well. Interesting character because in his student days, he used to be with the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, which is the students' wing of the RSS. So he's been in different political waters of Telangana.
Including TRS.
That's what I said. He was part of the TRS movement.
Mr. Reddy, can you hear
Revant
us?
Reddy now joins
Revant
us.
Anna, can you hear us?
Yeah, it is clear.
You know,
Yeah, it is
you're preparing for our telecast like some good Tollywood film star. You know, you're preparing almost as if you're going to do the next big blockbuster. But guess what? You may well have done the biggest political blockbuster we've seen in a while south of the Vindhyas. If these numbers are right, your smile will be even bigger on Sunday. Are you surprised? Be honest with us. Were you nervous that you could be below 60? This is an exit poll. How confident are you? 68 is the average we are giving you.
So I would say number may be going to increase. Up to
what is your number?
I know what is ground reality. My number is 80 plus. So the number is going to increase.
Where are you getting this confidence from? I mean, you know, Rahul has been pointing out here that you needed a tsunami to win this election. You're coming up from 28% and you've gone up to what? 42%. That's a 14% jump. Of course, 4% was TDP last time. What do you believe has changed between 2018 and 2023? We are having a debate in the studio whether it is because of Revant Reddy or Rahul Gandhi.
Can be both.
Can be both.
So because of Telangana people, it is nothing to do with the leaders. The swing from common man.
Okay, Revant Anna, the last time we met,
in Telangana,
you were cutting a birthday cake with us on the stage the last time we met. That was your birthday. I remember when we'd come on the 8th of November to Hyderabad for the India Today Telangana Roundtable. And you have in grand fashion announced that you will be taking the oath of Chief Ministership on the 9th of December at the Lal Bahadur Shastri Stadium, which is Sonia Gandhi's birthday. Ye confidence kahan se aa raha hai, Revant Anna? I've had other people joining us on the show who say they are also ready to be Chief Minister. How do you know that you will be picked to be the next Chief Minister if these numbers are true?
राहुल जी, मैं नंबर बोला सच है, मगर चीफ मिनिस्टर मुझे वोट लेने के लिए मैं कभी भी नहीं कहा. देयर इज एन प्रोसेस. हाउ इट इज लाइक एन क्रिकेट टीम सिलेक्शन. Select committee will be there. Players should attend that exam. Then they will finalize the team. Then they select a captain. The process is there. So there is no any exemption for anyone. So we have to follow the process. So party is going to.
आपने मुझे कहा था 9 तारीख को लाल बहादुर शास्त्री स्टेडियम आना, स्वेरिंग इन होगा, उसके बाद आप मुझे लंच खिलाएंगे. तो आप किसी दूसरे के स्वेरिंग इन के लिए मुझे लंच खिलाए या खुद के स्वेरिंग इन के लिए?
क्यों नहीं, मैं कांग्रेस का अध्यक्ष हूँ. कोई भी मुख्यमंत्री बने मेरा ही साथ ही बनेगा ना. मैं थोड़ी केसीआर को बनाऊंगा.
क्या बात है, being very diplomatic now. So film star
प्लस जो भी एमएलए जीतेगा वो मैं टीम मेंबर है. नहीं राहुल जी, अगर कैप्टन डकआउट भी हो गया ना, कप कैप्टन के हाथ में देकर ही सबको ये लाइन अप कर देते ना. तो कोई भी चीफ मिनिस्टर बने, मगर कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष मैं हूं. आई हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ थिंग्स.
How do you intend to take care of things in Telangana? If these numbers are correct, what should the voters, the millions who are watching you across India Today's digital, television, social assets, what do you want to tell them? What should they expect from the new government in Telangana if these numbers are true on Super Sunday?
Oh, that is what I'm trying to tell you. I know what is going to happen. I know what is ground reality. All these 20 years I've been in opposition. I have very good connection with the common man. So what common man is going to decide, I know. So that is why I've told you time and again, my number and my percentage of vote. You go through, you try to recollect my statement. So I've told you exact number and other things. So today you are you have accepted 80% of my suggestions. Now you have to little push your opinion up to 100%.
रेवंत अन्ना, ये इलेक्शन बदला कब? There are 2 or 3 many believe turning points. कुछ लोग कहते हैं कर्नाटक was a turning point. Congress winning there gave you momentum. Number 2, your own yatra and the yatra of your other leaders against KCR's government. Number 3, भारत जोड़ो यात्रा जो 12 दिन तेलंगाना में रही, 12 days, originally for 4-5 days, eventually became a 12-day yatra. What do you believe was the turning point, if these numbers are right, for the Congress to grow by 10%?
So मैं राजदीप जी, मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ, हर आदमी के लिए, हर प्रोडक्ट के लिए कुछ गुडविल होता है. केसीआर का गुडविल 14 and 18 में कुछ काम पे आया था. दिस टाइम श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी जी, शी इज हैविंग गुडविल, सो वी हैव एनकरेज्ड दैट गुडविल दिस टाइम.
But how suddenly? I mean, kuch to, you're saying you encashed goodwill. It's not as if Sonia Gandhi campaigned in Telangana. So how did you suddenly encash the goodwill? Kya kuch to badla hai? What was the turning point according to you? KCR has been dominant for 10 years. If these numbers are right, he's losing after 10 years.
Yes, it is the 60 years aspiration, whatever, more than 1200 youth शहीद हुए, हम लोग लड़के जितना भी लड़ो तेलंगाना नहीं मिला था. Just because of Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji, we have got our Telangana. So that goodwill is there in people's mind. So I have triggered that point. Rahul Gandhi has triggered that point. Kharge ji has triggered that point. So common man is connected with that point. That is how the voting percentage converted into reality.
Okay, I want to show our viewers these images from the 8th of November. We just referenced them. This is from the India Today Telangana Panchayat. That's Revant Anna on the stage cutting a cake. So he's been setting up for this. Mohammad Azharuddin next to him fighting from Jubilee Hills. He's been setting up for this moment. And the cake, interestingly, has his own face on it. So the cake has his own face on it. This is on the stage where we're doing this event. And that's Revant Anna. So you've been celebrating for a while now. If the numbers are correct, how is Revant Reddy going to party on Sunday?
So I have to wait 48 hours more to celebrate. Actually, I wanted to celebrate with my cadre and leader and our voting structure. So I'm awaiting for that moment.
कोई डर है? Any fear? Because there are still congressmen who tell me that, you know, what happens if you fall just short of 60? दूसरी बाजू ओवैसी है, बीजेपी है, TRS है. You agree that you cannot fall even 1 seat below 60, because then KCR will form a government. Is that a fear? अभी भी थोड़ा डर है कि नहीं?
नहीं, इसीलिए मैं ये बात साफ कहना चाहता हूँ, वो डर है, इसीलिए लोग इतना नंबर दे रहा है कांग्रेस पार्टी को. केसीआर अगर ऐसे कुछ फॉल गेम खेलने के लिए कोशिश करेगा, वो एनडीए कूटमी में बीआरएस है, बीजेपी है, एमआईएम भी साथ में है. अगर तीनों मिले तो भी नंबर नहीं मिलने वाले हैं. इसीलिए our number is showing that 73 at least. My prediction is 80 plus.
What is your anger against KCR and KTR? Yes, you see, you told me in an interview, if you come to power, you're going to order an inquiry into allegations of corruption. You will not allow these corruption allegations to be not investigated. कुछ गुस्सा लगता है आपके और केसीआर केटीआर के बीच, क्या है?
गुस्सा कुछ नहीं है. 30 lakh unemployed youth are there. They have cheated them. So whatever Telangana Public Service Commission जितने भी एग्जाम्स कंडक्ट किए, 17 एग्जाम्स, ऑल क्वेश्चन पेपर जिराक्स सेंटर में पल्ली बटानी जैसा भेज दिए. तो all this 10 years they have cheated Telangana youth. So I'm representing my youth. तो वो उन लोगों का जो गुस्सा है वो मेरा है. Just it is reflecting from on Revant Reddy or otherwise Congress party. We are representing that youth. We have to express our whatever गुस्सा भी हो, कुछ भी हो, हमारा view समझो, कुछ भी समझो.
So you will
No.
you will order a judicial inquiry if you come to power. You're saying that KCR, KTR or
Definitely
TRS के
our
खिलाफ-
election manifesto promise.
No, so in 2015, Revanth Reddy,
नहीं
you
नहीं
were
उन
arrested in
लोगों के
the
नहीं
cash for vote scam. Are you saying that if you come to power, you're made chief minister, you'll investigate all the multiple allegations of corruption that you've leveled against the KCR government and potentially